kill off all the spaceships.
No, the idea is to save the humanoids. That is, if the Alabian space guppies don't get to you first.
Really? Oh, cool. So you've played this game before?
No. It just seems like common sense.
Hang on. Were you one of those guys in high school who spent every day at the arcade hunched over the controls of a simulated spaceship with all the other pale, friendless virgins?
Don't be silly.
Oh man.
Make it, do it, makes us.
Special thanks to the the Daft Punk soundboard
Keyboard. Tyler was taking a drink during the point where he should have answered the question.
Yeah, thanks Tyler.
Daft keyboard.
Roll them.
Yes. Yeah, Daft keyboard makes us harder, stronger. I don't have these memorized yet. Is this annoying? Yes! Upload everybody! 43, the best number in the world. I'm not even going to make a Hitchhiker's reference. I'm Chris Antista.
I am Kyler Wilde.
Back again.
Shane Patterson. Michael Raparez.
Oh, yes. Coming in through phone, apparently.
Brett Elston coming frequently.
What? Nice! High five, brah. Okay. Before we started, I just want to say we still have our Watchmen contest going on. Complete motion comic, movie tickets.
Which we all saw the movie over the weekend.
That's right.
We did.
And also the movie, I think everybody gave it a resounding B+.
I gave it a resounding I didn't see it.
Well, that's...
Oh, Ty.
I
Doesn't
give it a
resound at all.
resounding Tyler is lame.
Okay, and then what everybody dug it and recommends it, right?
I it's one of those things. The more time that goes by, I like more, and the parts I disliked kind of fade. A little.
I can't say I'm very happy that I like the movie, The Thing we are pimping.
Yeah,
I
very
can
much.
honestly recommend you see. It's one of the boldest things because it's not a super. I can't imagine if it didn't have the name. It probably had Watchmen parentheses. This book sold a shit ton.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that script wouldn't have been looked at twice.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. Not as cool as the advanced screening I got to Wraiths to Witch Mountain.
You did see that already, didn't you?
I did. I saw it last night. It was bad.
It was a film.
movie.
It was bad. You know how much I wanted to, because I know cheesy live action Disney movies works for some people. I know one of my favorite movie of all time is a forgotten live action Disney movie. Don't say it. And
Cheetah.
Oh no.
Turn to Oz.
Oh, that's pretty good though. No, but Race to Witch Mountain. I don't even want to. It's just so dumb, and the kids' powers are only as powerful as the scene needs them to be. They can can teleport and lift things, but they can't get themselves out of danger. The Rock has to protect them with nothing.
So it's basically like Star Wars and the Jedi. I can lift this unless I need to.
A little like that, like these hyper-powered aliens who can speak to machines and conjure money need the Rock to drive them around in a Ford.
Well, that's because Ford generously paid a hefty fee to appear in that movie.
It's like I was hoping we'd get more theater screenings. I love movies. I just can't justify the time it takes to go to a movie now, but if it's for work. Oh, but now apparently I had to see a shitty one like Race to Witch Mountain and we'll never get invited again. They didn't want to make the original idea better. They just wanted to make it new.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, let's make the CGI. That's what the last one was missing. Now, anyway.
That's what the 80s were missing.
Vidya games. We talks about the Vidya games. Yeah. Well, later in the podcast, we're going to be talking a lot more about Resident Evil 5.
Oh, man. Resident Evil 5. It's out today.
Oh, man. That game.
That game is reviewed. Reviewified.
It's the fifth game.
The fifth game in a 20-game series. And we will also have some news stories about idiot advocates, and Shane and I interviewed, would you call him the hottest celebrity in the world? A sheer technicality?
Like Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yes. Episodes of Blank Rider are finally hitting planets
Blank
unknown.
Rider and Blank Watch and
in Bayotch.
Bayotch.
And Night Blank.
Blank. Yeah, we're gonna have an interview with him. But what do we always do every week?
Every week we talk about
drunk.
That's who?
the top 7.
The top 7.
Shit, we do that again. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Top 7, and this week was the hottest top 7 we've had in a while.
Also the most terrifying.
Yes, definitely. It
The naked flesh we didn't want to see.
naked flesh we didn't want to see. A real bite to the boner. It was. What was number 7 on the list?
Raiden.
Right. Someone give a tiny bit of background on this because I barely remembered at this point.
In Metal Gear Solid 2, Raiden is stripped of all of his clothes and his weaponry, and he's being tortured. And you see him from these camera angles that obscure his naughty bits, and then he has to run around in the cold, and he's holding his crotch, and you can do flips with him and everything. He just looks like a really white bar of soap that's been.
I would
cut
call the
out
scene
with
epic
salt.
goof.
Yeah.
It's why the split though?
His roll maneuver is the
It's
split.
like a cartwheel sort of
Yeah,
thing. And
so I remember this
normally
happening.
he has his arms out, but here he can't. So
Yeah.
Okay. I remember the scene. For some reason, I see that picture come up over and over again. I don't remember doing a Jean-Claude with no clothes on.
You see that picture probably because it's probably the first result on Google image search for Raiden
The first
naked.
result on Google image search, and it's usually on the front page of every feature we do.
That's right.
Oh, I don't want to sell what we do short because number 6 is a doozy. Please tell me what it is.
It's the boomers from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Oh man, they got big bulging stomachs with bags of pus hanging out. It's
I mean,
gross.
they really are disgusting.
It's pretty gross. It actually playing that. Obviously, it's a very addicting game, but it's one of those things. Occasionally, I'll be re-horrified at the idea of a boomer, like the idea that instead of just zombifying, there's like a 1 in 50 chance you just become this bloated mess, and like it even almost looks like it as if it's not a torturous existence of between life and death to be a zombie in the first place. You also have this thing that can only gurgle, and even though it has no emotions, you can tell it is in pain and hates being alive and can't wait to explode at the slightest opportunity.
I think the scariest thing about this guy is that he vomits on you, and I'm scared of that, like, in going to any bar. Just anyone else's vomit touching me.
I stepped in some vomit after we saw Watchmen.
Really?
Well, we went to eat, and then right after eating, I got the key to go to the bathroom in a diner, and open the door, and there's 2 girls in there. It's the men's bathroom, and they look at me like, "What are you doing?" "I have the key. How are you in here?" And then they walk past me, and then the guy next to me with the mop is like, "Watch out!" And I look down, and I'm stepping in vomit. And it's like you literally waited until it was a minute too late to tell me that.
I believe it sounded a little something like this.
It was Randy Savage. I saw him leave in a hurry, so I bet that was him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the same street though. Really short. I almost stepped on a man turd.
Oh, I saw.
It was my second day in the city, and like that's. I said inhuman, but what I meant is in dog-like. There's no way that's a dog's. That's clear. I can see the circumference of a human rectum. And I did it in the street, and I almost stepped in it. My friend had to pull me out of the way. Oh.
Like, this can't be a dog turd. It smells too strongly of fortified wine.
It smells like newspapers.
Oh, okay. Number 5 was
Voldo, the Soul Calibur series.
that Voldo. Good God.
I like that he has a spike directly above the crack of his ass.
I love that
bet
they
you do.
I like that they've continued to bring Voldo out year after year, even though somebody must have told them Middle America probably would stay away from your game entirely if he was anywhere near the cover.
Hey, Middle America's buying that shit anyway, so...
Actually, I can say they weren't. When Soul Calibur 3 came out, that was one of the games at Toys R Us that was just a stack of dusty, unsold games, while World of Outlaw Sprint Car Racing sold out.
And Cabela's hunting some more deer 2000.
Oh, anything with the deer being killed in any way was sold out.
Hey, y'all got any games where I can wear orange? All right, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. Voldo. Jesus. That's it. And I'm going to advance my way to number 4. This is what happens when you don't write the top 7.
Yeah, we don't know. Well, again, it was number 5 on the top 7. Naked Flesh we didn't want to see.
Naked Flesh we did not want to see.
Yeah, it was written by Dave Michelham from our UK office. He, Voldo. It's one of those things where I've looked at art of him for so long, it's almost commonplace. So when I'm like, oh yeah, I can see his ass.
He's a character I became best with in Soul Cal 1.
Really?
He is a bizarre pervert. I forgot.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's like, yeah, but he's my friend. Like, I don't care that he likes to,
Yeah, but he's blind. He can't be blamed for the way he dresses himself.
I just want to really know the rationale behind. Okay, how did you make this costume? Like, where did you get?
If you think about it, it was probably a normal costume until he tried to put it on. That was good.
I like you literally looked around the room like, everybody?
Hey, anybody? Hey.
All right, number 4 is called the Meat King.
The Meat King. Anybody played the Hitman?
I played that level.
I went to try and find interesting audio from it. It turns out that whole scene... I mean, he's grotesque and worthy of the list. Whole scene not that interesting.
The Meat... Hitman Contracts, by the way.
Yeah, the level is... There's a nightclub that's like a converted slaughterhouse.
Yes.
And you have to find your way to the Meat King, who's this huge, immobile tub of lard that tortures girls for his own pleasure.
With a Scottish accent.
Does he have a Scottish accent? I don't remember.
I believe he did. That's why they paired him up in the Versus picture.
With Fat Bastard from Austin Powers.
But how did you
Death
kill
by
him?
roast chicken.
Yes.
According to this entry.
Because I was like, oh man, this is going to yield some great audio, and I went and YouTube like every scene for every... Kids, what? Is your speed run really that interesting? Okay, never mind. YouTube has a reason to exist.
Well, that
and that reason is speedruns of games no one likes.
Yes.
And I put some Slipknot music over my speed run. It's even better.
It's usually a speed run with some, or if it's not a speed run with Slipknot, it's a semi-touching moment with the Linkin Park song over
Linkin Park in the end.
Or My Immortal.
Yeah, or Evanescence.
No, it's Linkin Park in the end because most people who like that music, that's the closest they come to feeling. Here in the end, and I watched the scene and it's basically like, whoa, you women, get out of here, food, and you're a hitman, you bring him a giant plate of meat, which I'm assuming is poisoned, you give it to him and walk away. Boom, Meat King is no longer your business.
I think you meant boom.
That's one possible way to kill him.
Boom, gameplay.
What did I mean?
That's what you meant.
Damn it, I just wanted to use a sound effect.
That's what you meant.
Gameplay.
Do you have any animal sound effects?
I might. Alright,
I always thought that In the End song was about video games in general.
I saw...
Because that kind of sums up my years of experience.
I tell you, I saw it originally as the first September 11th tribute kind of like morning thing on Newgrounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so like the song has had a weird effect because it was like just that montage of the towers at the time when it was still really sensitive. Now I'm completely comfortable living the post-9/11 world. I don't miss those buildings at all. And nothing. All right. Oh, you don't have to go there.
I did notice how Watchmen would frequently frame the scene with the towers in between two people talking.
It seemed like Watchmen. That's why I liked it. It deliberately did a lot of things that would seem to anger an executive.
Well,
please don't use a Bob Dylan song. The public doesn't like him.
I like the Bob Dylan song.
Who doesn't like a Bob Dylan song?
Number 3, Larry Lovage in the top 7, Naked Flesh we didn't want to see.
And do you see his?
Well, this is the thing. In the American version, it's censored whenever he runs around naked. Although there's like the adult version you can buy. Apparently, in the European version, it was never censored. You just see his shriveled little dong.
We all know about the double standard that they could Manhunt had to be essentially censored so the UK would get it, but cock and balls.
Yeah, just in general, like boobs and body parts in general, it's like they don't. The rest of the world really doesn't care.
Yeah, UK TV's great.
Yeah, America and the rest of the world are kind of reversed when it comes to censorship. Like, we have no problem with violence, but we abhor nudity, and the rest of the world is the exact opposite.
Yeah, which makes more sense to me. I have a problem ripping your guts out and killing a cop, raping a prostitute, and then wearing your head as a hat. That's fine, and in case of Dexter, admirable. But then if you're going to show a you're gonna share a bare tit, then rated R, get it out of here.
There's only one group of people who can get offended by a tit, and that's orphans. Orphan boys, because they're the only ones who may never see one. So,
You just alienated our orphan audience.
And
I'm
people who
sorry.
write letters of complaint to the FCC following the Super Bowl.
hey, I'm sorry, but if you're an orphan, take that shit to Giant Bomb. Talk Radar doesn't have any content. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh, good. There's a forum thread already.
Go make a speed run and put some POD on it, and you'll be fine.
Yes,
For the very first time.
Tyler and I are from the School of Hard Knocks because we played thoroughly entry number 2.
Instead of taking a test, you took 2 to the chest. Number 2 is Clotho from God of War 2. What the hell is
I
that?
always thought that was Atropos.
What, did you play God of War 2, Michael?
Of course.
Would you say it was the first? I will not do that again. That did not get a reaction.
I didn't clearly hear what that was.
Well, I mean, did you think it was the first one?
Did you think it was...
Did you get through
I
it?
think it was Owners than the first one?
Did you get through it?
Faster.
Like,
Did you think it was harder, better,
Yeah,
faster,
it was
stronger?
a pretty awesome game.
really? What did you do?
Faster.
I wish God of War was never.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think they ever explicitly come out and name the Sisters of Fate, like, individually. Maybe one of them they do.
So you going on a hunch? That's what her name is due to the mythology.
I don't care.
Yeah,
The fact is, she's this giant bloated sack of fat that sits amid all these guillotines and strings, and she just has her tits out. Like
she really is grotesque. It's like if you were playing Lunch Lady Whack-A-Mole, and
that's a good analogy. Just lunch lady.
Lunch Lady. I actually have a clip of what are we calling her, Nan? What do you want to call her, Michael?
I don't know. The article calls her Clotho. Let's call her Clotho.
Clotho it is. Clotho. I have a clip of Clotho. So.
Alright, fellas, I'm ready to fudge. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Classy.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I think.
Baby, come on.
Oh, come on! Fudge midnight! Fudge midnight!
What is that from? I read...
Orgasmo.
Really? Was I bamboozled? I freelanced that sound effect out. I did not do. No, Jesus, I cannot be funny. I am a void of humor today. Why do I go on? Because everybody. Up. Number one.
Number one is Congressman Stubs from GTA, which wow. The original Photoshop of this guy's bear cock and balls was a Wiimote, and we joked about putting the classic controller with the Wiimote to make it look like balls in a dick.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like clip art hovering over. Looks like clip art hovering over a crotch.
Mm-hmm.
The original. I saw the picture in our photo database. What they were originally going to put in, and it was just the cock with like a finger puppet over it. And it was really good, but like the pubic hair and base was still visible.
Yeah.
And but here's the thing. I'm gonna post on the Talk Radar page a picture of Congressman Stubs' junk uncensored.
Really?
Be there on the Talk Radar 42 page. Put it in Google if you can't find it. Talk Radar 42. I can't recommend it enough. It'll have links to everything we talk about. Yeah, Congressman Stubs. I really did. You didn't want to see this, but I'm very glad Rockstar did it.
Yeah, they needed to. They needed to do this.
Games have not had a great dick joke like that, have they? Can you think of a greater dick joke than?
No.
No.
I mean, it's just copying. I mean, I bet a movie did this before, but we all remember it as Austin Powers, where he's walking around the room and.
But the thing was that he never ended up actually like the Simpsons movie, where they're covering Bart's penis with everything, and then they just boom show it flat out. Like,
oh yeah,
it was like that.
Kind of the equivalent of the Judd Apatow movies, where they just turn male nudity into like a joke. It's like it's right there in the front. You know, it's just huge on the screen, and you're laughing at it.
Maybe I can be funny if I could use my dick as a punchline.
Well, I noticed, again, bringing back to Watchmen, like how many giggles there were the first 5 times Dr. Manhattan shows up. But then by the end of the movie, everyone stops laughing because that's literally all the time it takes to get over that. Even the stupidest, giggliest bitch.
I was
after 2 hours, it's just like, That's a naked dude. And that's how it takes to get over nudity.
There's a penis.
Relating it directly to this, like I remember we bashed, your dick has no physics.
It's disturbing because at one point he sort of stretches and it just sort of recedes up into his pubic hair.
Yes, it gives off no shadow. The polygons open up and give him like some like wormhole taint.
Yeah.
Not really, but then the amount of physics they put into Dr. Manhattan's.
Oh yeah.
It was gelatinous. It flowed in breezes.
The question is, was that physics or was that Billy Crudup's dick?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. That's confirmed.
That's not what I heard.
Because there's pictures of him dressed up in a giant mocap suit, acting, and he was wearing just glowy things.
Fair enough.
Have a little Jimmy mocap. Do you have some white balls in his?
No, he's also not that cut.
Some white balls on his balls?
When you see the images behind the scenes, he looks like Tron guy.
I did see the uncensored GTA Lost and Damned, and it's like the day before shipping, someone was like, we got permission to show the dick, and they're just like, got into MS Paint, and they were like, quickly, we don't have time for physics or shadows.
But man, we got a lot of pubes in there. Oh man.
Oh wow, yeah, the pube shading is given my current situation is pretty accurate.
Fun fact, they licensed technology from id for the pube shading. No, they didn't.
That might have happened.
That's what John Carmack's been spending the last 10 years doing.
Mapping of the next 10 years is pube shaders.
There's an extra chip in my motherboard for pube shading.
Yes.
Yeah, but the Wii's going to need an add-on in order to handle that.
I wouldn't even think that we could handle that.
The Wii's going to need a peripheral that can engulf the remote. Why doesn't this make any sense?
PlayStation 4 will employ 4,000 pube shaders at once.
Have you seen the movie The Matrix? It's like those.
It's like that, but playing with your dick. Oh my goodness!
So that's the top 7.
I'd be afraid to ride out of here. We're gonna give you a light break real quick, and then we're gonna get into a bunch of nastiness.
Oh man, we got audio jokes from Resident Evil 5, and much more for RE5, which is out.
Special celebrity interview, and we're gonna be giving away something Resident Evil 5 related.
That's true. There's a lot coming up.
Would you say that the stuff to come is better, faster?
Tyler, you're right. If you didn't like this bit, I assure you.
God, you keep
That's so stupid. Like everybody expects it now.
You're tripping over yourself to make a bad joke.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't like that last bit, I assure you the next segment of Talk Radar will be.
Oh, we know Talk Radar's awesome.
Why does everyone hate Battle Network? Because I do.
Saints Row 2 lets you totally shoot piss out of a car.
If you're listening and you were born in 1997, that is bad, and we hate you.
And to top off Michael Sentiment.
But we try not to get a big head about it.
I am the third revelation. I am the third revelation.
But we need your help to spread the word and keep the Carnival of Filth alive and on the air.
Would you kindly?
Do your friends at TDar a huge favor and tell your friends about the show. Review us on iTunes.
That was totally wicked!
Hit us up on Dig. And hell, just keep listening.
Good, clean, wholesome fun.
I don't know. They pay me to do this.
Commander Shepard, the biggest prick in the galaxy.
Say goodnight, Manuel.
You cannot silence the truth. My voice must be heard.
Oh my god! What did you do?
That might have been a little extreme, Commander. A lot of people want my help these days. What makes you special? I can't have you on this ship if you're going to infect my crew. This ends now.
If that's the way it has to be, heck, come on!
The Council can kiss my ass. I don't like people making decisions about my future. Fork over the reward so I can get back to more important things. I should kill both of you idiots. You must die. I don't like strangers. We don't have time to waste on these people. There's a galaxy at stake. I had to kill people for these discs. You can expect me to kill you the next time we meet. I'm a Marine, not some tourist on vacation. Don't tell me how to do my job. If you don't want my help, just forget it.
We don't have time to deal with this idiot. Charge!
My brain's been scrambled like an egg. Too many people died here, Fist. You don't get to walk away. They say a lot of things. I was too busy killing them to count. Watch your tone, Chelik.
Secrets are like herpes. If you got them, you might as well spread them around.
You're a pig.
Go! Get to the chopper! Don't miss the PC engine!
And apparently he killed himself.
Only video game podcast where suicide becomes the main topic.
Yes. Remember, if you're gonna do it, leave a note saying video games made you do it.
Yes.
Specifically, PC Engine.
That's right.
Any advertisement's good advertisement in my eyes.
That's right. Because we need more than the 3 listeners we have right now.
PC Engine for the win.
Burger Dog versus Gus O!
Take a burger, double cheese, travel across the world, we're in the 7 seas. I'll be patty on a sesame bun. I love the taste too much, can never stop that one. It's got the juicy taste to put a smile on your face. McDonald's, Burger King, or any other place. 1, 2, 3, or even 7. Of this double cheese when I get up to heaven. When you're feeling sad and alone, your mood is kind of blue. Eat a lot of burgers, that's all you gotta do. So I'm feeling more great than a burger on my plate. On scale of 1 to 10, a burger always rates great. From here to go, it really doesn't matter, bro. Hamburger lovers, let me hear you say, ho! Let there be no mistake of the quote. I'm trying to make them my first to keep my burger not a kill.
Welcome back to Talk Radar 42, the podcast of life. Jesus, Shane.
Yeah, I know.
Sneezy dwarf. That's what Shane is.
Me.
Okay. I can't think of a good way to segue, so I'll just go into new releases.
Jesus.
Sorry. What? New releases, Tyler. New releases, games that are coming out this week.
Dude! That, as of
Yeah.
Friday, have been out for 3 days.
Sure.
Man, that lion sound effect gets me. The lion and the dolphin are my 2 favorite sound effects.
Hey! I love for hey? Apparently not. No one.
Hey.
Alright, anyway, onwards to new releases. Everybody loves that one.
Cool bowling.
Here, it sounds
Wait,
like...
was that me or the Brett bot?
Cool
Nobody
bowling.
knows. Hey, shut up, this is Brett.
Cool bowling.
Oh, that was definitely you.
When did I say, hey, shut up, this is Brett?
I don't remember.
If anyone knows, post it in the thread. That research me, look on box back. All right.
New releases this week. Oh man! Other than the first couple of things, Trivial Pursuit, all platforms. Every one of us is being gifted by God. Finally,
trivial.
Finally.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. That we got Trivial Pursuit on all platforms.
It's one of those games that's just getting like 6s. It's like, yeah, it's.
They've all been pretty bad, and I couldn't wait when I had Xbox Live and I got Trivial Pursuit. And the questions are read by Whoopi Goldberg and John Cleese. This is going to be amazing. and then you realize there's no possibility of DLC because of that fact. You're going to hear Whoopi Goldberg ask the same question about Esperanto over and over again on live. I thought Trivia would be a great thing to play online, and it's just kind of worthless.
Yeah.
If you play the game 3 times, you probably memorize several of the answers.
It's no Uno.
It's no Uno whatsoever.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, why wouldn't I just pay the $30 for the big box with every question ever? Or
Because
something?
you don't have any friends. Man.
Oh,
That's
that's why. I forgot I was a socially inept loser who can't.
It's funny, when I was a kid, we had Trivial Pursuit, and I would sit by myself with the stack of cards and memorizing the answers, so that when I could play with my family, they would think I was some kind of super child.
When my parents still had a life, and they would go to this awful bar, and I'd just sit there and read Trivial Pursuit. They drank and hit me.
You didn't play that Miss Pac-Man that got in the corner?
That barely happened. I don't know why I just said that about my parents. Boo. My Sims, somebody guessed the name.
Party.
Indeed, My Sims Party will be out, I'm assuming, on some system that's white, or is including a camera in a few weeks.
What?
Avalon Code, from the developers of the DS remakes of Final Fantasy 3 and 4.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, for the DS, I think that might be worth...
Wait, what is this game called?
Avalon Code.
It's called Avalon Code?
Marvelous Entertainment?
They just chose 2 words that sounded kind of neat.
Don't you know how to make an RPG?
Wow, the reviews are all over. One Up, who's still somehow reviewing things.
Same freelancers are still there.
It's so weird. One Up gives it a 58, which is like a B,
nice.
which is like a B schwa. I don't know what the. How you
is that
get
at a 60?
I don't know how you get a 58. IGN an 83, and Nintendo Power an 8.5, which I guess is the standard score. What the fuck is Boing Dokomodake DS?
Oh, it's only the latest, greatest thing on the... I have no idea.
Boing Dokomodake DS!
What's it called?
Dokomodake?
Dokomodake. It'll put pee-pee in your Coke.
Wow.
Dude, quit dokoing my docket.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow, we almost had beer everywhere. I mean seltzer water?
Seltzer water, yes.
Oh, that fizzy drink.
Yes.
If you'd thrown in a gong, I would have puked.
I almost creamed soda.
If you'd thrown in the gong, I would have puked on Shane.
I got rid of the gong. The gong is retired. After all, there was that one thread where all it was people with big teeth and Vietnamese rice hats, and where I felt like I had created racism. So I learned a valuable lesson.
It's a good
Anywho,
thing. Yeah, we should get rid of it.
I think there's another game with allegations of racism that came out this week. I think some.
Wait for it. I agree with you, Shane. We're heading there. But first, we have to eviscerate new play control Pikmin and new play control Mario Power Tennis, which are getting astoundingly good reviews.
I'm holding in my hand Nintendo Power. What?
Wow, so all of our listeners could see.
Yes, do you see?
Could you hold it up to the microphone?
Oh.
There we go.
Pikmin. That's the sound of Pokemon.
There you go, Pikmin.
Yeah, I fired it up today because I wanted to kind of, in my mind, I thought, wow, Pikmin was a very pretty game for 2001. I wonder how it looks today compared to what I've seen on Wii. These new play control Pikmin and new play control Mario Tennis don't just add motion controls, they add 480p and widescreen, which were not there.
Multiplayer for Pikmin, right?
No, that is Pikmin 2.
Why do you have to be so wrong?
Play with Wii adds multiplayer.
One player. I'm reading the box.
Is it?
Yes.
I might.
I don't know what you're talking about. But my mistake. It's funny looking though at Pikmin. Is like, wow, this is still a fairly pretty game. Like I got the bug all over again. I was like, I want to play through Pikmin again because in this game the motion controls work very well.
Yeah.
It's a borderline RTS as it is. So it worked very.
I hate the Sims. And I remember playing the Sims. I'm like, these controls work better than any other console version I've seen before. And Pikmin is kind of RTS-y.
Yeah, it's fun. It's one of those things where I could recommend just go pick up Pikmin for GameCube.
Yeah, if you haven't played Pikmin before, I'm sure that's a good bet.
Yeah, it's averaging a 77. I played it for like 30 minutes today, and it's still fun. It looks pretty.
What was sad about it is because I forget because I play a lot of newer Wii games. It didn't change a thing, and it still looked unbelievably better than any Wii game released.
It does. It's very
last year.
So strange, and
just goes to show that a lot of Wii developers just aren't trying.
They're not.
You can make a decent-looking game on the Wii, and that's been proven a few times.
I would only like to point you in the direction of Julianne Michaels' workout Wii Fit rigmarole because it looks like it was developed in the 3DO. It's probably the worst the Wii has to offer.
The shitty visuals on these games. What's weird is looking at GameStop's website right now. New play control Pikmin, $29.99. I think is a fair price, even though it's
judging by the greatest hits lineups of all the other systems.
Yeah, even though it's a 7-year-old game with moderately enhanced features, it's still a fun game. And given that the Wii is a vastly more successful console than the GameCube, I can understand why they do this. I kind of hate it, but I understand. However, I can order right now Pikmin for GameCube for $25, which will play on the Wii. So I'm really
not in widescreen.
But how many people who bought a Wii have a widescreen TV? Like where that's their only system. Man, I love that dang Wii Sports, man. You got them Wiis? Like
that is true. I'm sure most of the people who own a Wii still have a UHF dial.
Man, turn on the channel U.
With the RF switch, man.
But if you know someone with the Wii and you need to pick up a gift, I love Pikmin.
It's a great game.
And you never know, if you get them a Wii, get the Wii version of Pikmin, it may get them into games.
Yeah. The Mario Tennis, though, not as good. The stupid ass motion controls are terrible. Don't even bother. And calling that a GameCube classic is really stretching.
A little bit. I'm sure it sold well, and I guess tennis is too popular to ignore. Like
you see, a classic Mario Golf was a good game. I enjoyed
Mario Golf Total Tour is amazing.
I like the N64 Mario Golf quite a bit. I
like them both.
Just saying.
All right, let's talk about something.
Whoa, wait.
Let's talk about Mario Golf for another hour.
What else? We're going to talk about 2 other games that came out, but I want to talk about the biggie first. What am I talking about? Michael Raparez.
Resident Evil 5?
That is correct.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yay.
So we posted the review Monday of Resident Evil 5. Michael and I went through it co-op.
Yes, we did.
Gave it a 9 out of 10. Both of us, I think, walked away with the same impression that it's extremely fun co-op, but it's total action, not scary at all.
Yeah.
It's like Resident Evil 4 is. Granted, it revitalized the franchise, and to me, it is a 10. It completely is. It's slightly scary while fixing what was a totally broken, dumb, boring ass franchise. I hated the old games, and made it interesting. 5 lacks any even sliver of suspense or mystery. It's just like, what? Guys are sprouting bugs out of their heads. Get them! And then that's the game.
Yeah, I think with a couple of exceptions, like even when the game was like verging on being scary, when there was like a bunch of things chasing you, it was completely broken up by, oh look, some crates. Maybe there's something cool inside. Let's collect some golden ammo.
Well, but does the fact that there's no horror in it really detract from like it being a good game?
Not at all. Not at all. But it's the 5th Resident Evil, and considering the first 3 set a horror tone.
Right.
And even 4 was pretty scary.
Yeah, I didn't knock it any points for not being scary. I was just grading it on, well, it's still a fun game. The gunplay was fun.
Yeah. Apparently, the latest Silent Hill was scary and not fun.
I kind of liked Silent Hill Homecoming.
You are in the minority. This is what we hear Silent Hill praise. I had to play that button again, Tyler. You know I'm sorry.
I mean, it wasn't a great game, but it wasn't a bad game. I mean, like most games that are of that sort of caliber, they're still better than 90% of what's out there. They're just not Resident Evil 5. They're not. Yeah, but they're still fun.
If Silent Hill Homecoming had not been called Silent Hill, it would probably have been viewed more favorably and completely ignored in stores.
Correct.
Yeah, the biggest complaints for RE5 were the controls are still like hanging on to this last remnant of you have to stop and shoot, which a lot of people are like, I don't care, that doesn't bother me. Which fair enough, it doesn't bother you. Imagine a game that looks like Gears, plays like Gears, has cover like Gears, is throwing enemies at you, is loading you up with ammo, and you have to stop to shoot. You cannot move while shooting. Any other game would be completely unacceptable. Yeah. Absolutely unacceptable. But because this is Resident Evil in the box,
did you bring that up in your review? That like
yes, you did.
That I thought you did. I mean, excuse me if I'm paraphrasing you, but 4 was kind of the template for things we've seen in Dead Space and Gears of War.
4. I mean, it's not. It's completely fair to compare it to 4 because it's number 5.
Yeah.
But 4 was one of those things like you're not going to top this right away. This is the kind of thing you're going to take a couple of games to find a new way to do this. 4 introduced the over-the-shoulder camera thing that Dead Space, Dark Sector, Gears, countless games have used since then. 5 just kind of takes that idea, removes the suspense and horror, and just throws shit at you to shoot. And it's still really fun, especially co-op. Single player, I played halfway through the PS3 when, after beating it co-op on 360, I played literally halfway through PS3 collecting all the emblems.
Moderate bias.
But again, my question is the name alone the fact that it should be different? Like, even because it's designed around the game being more of an action experience? Is it really just because we give the pass because it's Resident Evil 5, or are we like within its constructing like it still plays
to
really
a certain degree?
well?
You care about the characters and the enemies.
No. I mean about the controls, stopping and shooting. Like even if it was like action game number 3, would you guys say it's a 9 because it's still really fun, or are you guys really hung up over it being called Resident Evil 5 and there's no scare factor?
There's multiple reasons. One of which is a small part is that it's Resident Evil not scary has not happened yet for a numbered game. So it was weird. Like you didn't say you were changing the direction ever. Like this one's all action. You were still advertising it as the ads still say like terror that never leaves or horror you can't remove or something like that with a guy like freaking out by himself. It's not scary at all ever, not once. So that's a slight knock, not a big deal.
And you also mentioned the Resident Evils were kind of built off of you're against the odds. You're very low on ammo, and there's no shortage of ammo. If I'm leading,
I've played through it twice now, and never once been, oh shit, I'm out of ammo.
But this is a difference in the way that you and I played. I was constantly running low on ammo because you figured out early on that if you shoot an enemy, they stumble, and then you can run up and do a melee attack. Yeah. And that does a lot more damage than just plinking away at them with bullets.
Yeah.
So you saved a lot of ammo. I was constantly low on it because I was just constantly hanging back and shooting.
Yeah, I also never used the machine gun because that bitch eats bullets like popcorn.
Oh, they use the same ammo as the other weapons.
No, that's the other reason I kind of knock it a little bit is because it never strays from Resident Evil 4. It's like, oh god, that game sold so well and was revered so much. I wanted to do a feature just comparing directly. Look, it's the giant boss, El Gigante boss. Look, it's the water boss where you're on a boat. Look, it's the.
I saw the picture in your review. I didn't know if that was from 4 or 5.
Like comparison. Resident Evil 4, you're in a leaky boat with harpoons you're throwing with a hand. Leon's like fighting a giant fish. That's 3 times the size of your boat. Resident Evil 5, you're on a cruiser with rocket launchers and machine guns, fighting a giant monster of the sea, which we'll hear in a minute, and you're just laying it into it, and it's really cool. It's a fun battle. It's one of my favorite scenes from the game, but it's not scary. And the same thing goes for when you fight El Gigante equivalent. In Resident Evil 4, it was just Leon, ground level. You're like, I don't know how I can possibly win this fight. This guy is 3 times the size of me. And it's a very tough fight. You're shooting him, you jump on top, you're cutting up on him. It's really cool and suspenseful. But in Resident Evil 5, you're in a Humvee with 2 mounted machine guns, shooting him. And I don't think I didn't get hit. Like I don't even know how to die in that scene.
Well, probably you stop shooting and let him get close enough.
I guess if I don't play, he'll attack me.
I think you really hit it on the head, though, when you said this is kind of like a Hollywood version of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a lot of fun, but all the subtlety is completely thrown out.
There you go.
It's just beating over the head.
Not a game of ambiance anymore.
It's just like, spears found a machine gun. Let's just ramp everything up to 20.
Well, reading the comments of the review is one of those things you should never do. But reading the comments, one person, of course, it's like split down the middle. Resident Evil sucks. / I will buy this on day 1. But occasionally you get.
That was the slash.
Okay. Occasionally you get people who say like, why would you compare Resident Evil 5 to Resident Evil 4? That's like comparing chocolate to vanilla. And I literally don't know how to react. That's like, you have a problem telling what life means.
Yeah, chocolate wasn't the sequel to vanilla.
Why am I comparing Resident Evil 4 to 5? Because it's the sequel! What other answer is acceptable to this person?
But it came out on a different system. You understand?
It was separated by at least 4 years.
Oh, how can you compare Batman Forever to
the other comment, I saw a lot of comments of people, because I pointed out that the Mercenaries, which was not online when I was playing, but Capcom has since revealed and confirmed that Mercenaries will be online as of today. That you'll be able, Mercenaries being the additional mode that was in Resident Evil 4, you can just shoot people with the timer. And Michael and I were playing split screen for Mercenaries, and it was split screen, but the split screens were shrunk, and we were almost playing in little windows. I showed Shane that, and he was like, "I've never seen that before."
Wait, why? Why would they do that?
I saw that for the demo. I mean, that was in place like months ago.
Yeah, and it just seemed weird to me that a split screen would not be just a line down the middle, and you're playing split screen.
Can you not think of a reason why they do that?
I think it keeps it in that way. It keeps the same resolution because having it doesn't really keep. The same.
Did you say when you were playing, you actually played Gears split screen, Gears 2 split screen with your roommates,
and Left 4 Dead,
and it caused slowdown.
I don't know if that was my system or what.
I mean, but you had the same 360 as everybody else.
Right.
So maybe that. I'm just at you. Shane knows video a little better, like way better than I do. So.
Well, what's weird about the comment is that more than one person has said, "You guys can't think of another game that did this." Really? Like multiple people are like, "How can you say you don't know another game that did this?" Apparently, Call of Duty World at War does this.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You seriously didn't play this on one TV?" It's like.
No.
Number one, no, because we're not poor. And number two, because neither of us reviewed Call of Duty World at War, so it wasn't our job to play through every single mode in that
Money
game.
back to Rapare.
Do you have a sound effect for Money Raparez? What can we call that? Finance Parez? What do we?
My
Leaders
Parez. All right, I think I got it together. Hold on. There you go. I think it's both.
That's kind of all I have on RE5.
Oh, hold on, and we have some sound from RE5. I'm gonna revolve yes or no answers. Resident Evil 5.
Yes.
Compared to Resident Evil 4.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes. No.
Brett.
What am I answering? Yes or no?
Resident Evil 4 to Resident Evil 5.
No.
Michael.
Yes.
Brett.
Yes.
Stronger.
Stronger. No.
Never.
All right.
It is never.
And this is when we retire the Daft Punk soundboard.
Thank
It becomes unfunny. What we do have, Brett, you captured us some.
I did. I through playing Resident Evil 5 and also posting through collecting the BSAA emblem guide, which is up today as well. For all the collectibles, which help you unlock Sheva's tribal costume, which is basically her with boobs jiggling all over the place in tribal paint. There's a boss named Irving who transform. Well, I don't want to mention that, but there's a boss.
Why don't I have a transform button?
That's true. You should. There's a boss named Irving who, listening to him talk, he's for the first half of the game, he's the guy you're chasing.
I'm Irving. Am I close?
No. He sounds exactly like another character, and I could not shake the character he sounds like. So playing first is the character he sounds like, which is Meowth from Pokemon. So the first one called Snarf. Defilement. That's Snarf from So here's a quick compilation that I prepared of Meowth, so you have ground to compare.
My story's a bittersweet one. The first thing I remember was being alone. No family, no friends, no home.
Oh, God. Keep going.
Pokemon to battle with. Hey, guys, could I borrow one of your Pokemon? Meowth refuses to lose. Huh? That's it. Onyx is weak against water. I am merely a fairy fighting for its child.
Jesus. Where'd you find that Pokemon, Yonkers?
That sounds kind of like Edith Bunker.
Meowth.
Oh, it's she. Did you just summon me?
Meowth for some reason.
We gotta get that Pikachu, Archie.
For some reason, Meowth has a Brooklyn accent in the U.S. version. No one knows why. And here is Irving, who I had to check the voice actor credits to make sure it was not the same person.
Splendid timing! You two are just in time for the fireworks show. Boom!
Used to.
Hey,
Yeah, what
a fireworks show.
Busting the Irving's Guillaumes.
Hey, I'm from El Paso, Texas.
Where you get off about that, eh? Sorry.
Here's another one.
You say, wow, you two are just on top of everything, aren't you? The balance of the world is changing and you're completely oblivious to it.
Well, hit plaything.
You're just one of Excella's playthings. You're just one of Excella's playthings. You're just one of Excella's playthings. You're just one of Excella's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really thought you just sent me YouTube poop.
No.
No, so yeah, the whole time he's talking, like, I just had a hard time distinguishing him from Meowth. And the last audio clip, called Ari Shuffle, is the sound. The two characters, Chris and Sheva, the sound they make when they walk sounds like they. And you spend a lot of time, despite all the action scenes, there are, parts where you're solving a puzzle or whatever. They're few and far between, but there are moments where you're not shooting shit to death. And it sounds like you're carrying 400 pounds of gear on keychains.
Okay, let me hear this.
Are you at boot camp? What the fuck?
It sounds like they're carrying pocketfuls of gravel through a briar patch.
Yeah, I think that was just the sound of us moving in box steps.
That's us walking.
Sounds like a collapse at the Velcro factory.
I feel like I'm in a box full of styrofoam.
It does kind of make sense because that's what a ton of gear and ammunition and brass casings would sound like.
I know, but you play Gears of War. That sounds like it really sounds like things are being jostled on your body, though.
Yeah, this was like let's get a sound for every item they're carrying.
It's like Gears of War, but it's lighter.
So yeah, that's that. Good game. Go buy it. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah.
It's not the kick you in the nuts surprise that Resident Evil 4 was.
I do want to get your honest assessment. Please make it honest. Right now, is the game racist? And I only asked that because I saw the most amazing innocent discussion between Michael and Brett Elston, where Michael was like, "Do you think you should use the word spear chuckers?" Like, yeah, they're chucking spears. Why is that wrong? It's a little bit of an offensive term. Right?
Yeah,
is it? What?
I had never heard the term that spear chucker. I'd never heard that because and while writing the review,
that amazed me. While
writing the review, I was like, well, they're holding spears, they're throwing them. I don't know. I guess they'll say spear chucker. Like that.
This sound crazy.
And it just came out, and then Michael's like, "You might want to change that," which I did. It's
yeah,
not.
But it was funny because you didn't know what I was referring to. It's like, yeah, the bit where you say spear chucking natives. Oh no, I changed that to spear chucking Magini. It's like, no, that's not really the point. It's like spear chucking villagers.
That's what I remember hearing. Like, oh yeah, I changed it. Spear chucking genie.
Magini. That's the name of it.
And not Majinji, as one of our commenters insisted. It is Magini.
I'd never heard that. That was and it's not in the review. So bringing that up is
if you're listening. If you're listening, and we're going to announce a contest involving the special edition of Resident Evil 5.
Yes.
Coming up in the third segment.
Yes.
But was the game racist?
I didn't think so at all. I mean, I never did from the first. I thought the first trailer they released was poorly edited, and it did not,
accurately convey what was going on.
It's understandable why people would be annoyed with that, but the game quickly shifts. One scene you're fighting an infected guy who lives in an African village who is black. Next scene, I'm fighting a dog that splits down the middle and spits venom all over me. Like,
Michael, racist? Yes or no?
I think they kind of fell over themselves to make it not racist. I mean, you can't set a game in Africa with a white protagonist shooting black people and not have it fall into some sort of cultural context where people are going to say it's racist. I think
what if you give him a black person of his own?
Which he has.
That really should have been pounced
upon.
And the same thing. The argument that she's light skinned makes it bad it doesn't hold any weight to me.
I'm not saying it makes it bad. I'm just saying she's very light skinned for someone who was born and raised in Africa.
Thank you for allowing me to choose this song.
But here's Africa, Toto.
I think
But here's the thing. You still, in the context of the game, it's not racist. You're there with the BSAA, who are the people who investigate these bioterrorism threats. Your entire supporting team are from Africa. They are normal, regular-speaking Africans. Do not go crazy and kill people.
And they step one die.
Okay, what other support characters in any Resident Evil survive?
I've said it before. If you think Resident Evil 5 is racist, pretty much all you're seeing is color.
Yeah.
And you're kind.
Well, the thing is, I think there's a big discussion here. I don't think you can definitively say nope, not racist. End of story. Hey, I didn't think it.
It's almost like if there was a white protagonist in Hotel Rwanda, it would be racist. Whatever. Like I haven't seen Hotel Rwanda. It's a setting.
One wouldn't belong. Yeah.
It's a setting. Like it's not a convincing setting unless Africans are living there.
Yeah,
but I also wouldn't say that if you're just seeing color if you see that. I mean, it's
Kind of.
big.
And, well, most people were reacting to the trailer. Are those black people?
Well, they're also still talking about it because now they're playing it.
Yeah.
No, I was actually talking about it because I was trying to segue.
I wouldn't say I think it's easy to say it's not racist.
Got it. Yes. No, I know what you're doing. Do they just see black and white?
Yeah. That was way better than what I was going with.
It's easy. It's easy.
Hold on.
It's easy to say it's not racist, but insensitive is probably more appropriate. These are Japanese developers. I don't think they ever thought, let's really piss them off.
They didn't enslave a race, and apparently have every right to be racist.
Japan is kind of infamous for its racism.
Yes.
Although it's racism born of kind of having a very homogenous society and not really understanding the colonial issues that color the rest of the world.
And we will leave Michael's racism and head into more of my specific racism. I see more than black and white. I see red. That was a great segue.
A little bit of yellow too.
A little bit of yellow when it comes to Waggle. Mad World also came out this week. Mad World, which I thought was interesting.
I'm surprised how good it's doing. The reviews.
I think it's a breath. I really think the same way we say solidarity, I think everybody else is doing that editorially and calling it professionalism, which it isn't. It's not a fantastic game.
Yeah, well, watching you play it, you're like, I kind of hate this.
It's stylistically and it's a breath of fresh air. But if you had to play the Wii all the time as a Nintendo editor, I'd probably score it through the roof. But I don't have to. I play plenty of other things. I do like the game. I do think it's fun. I do laugh at the fact that the National Institute on Media and the Family hates Mad World, has issued
That's hardly surprising, though.
I know, but they've issued a public statement. In the past, the Wii has successfully sold itself as being a gaming console for the entire family, and a way to bring family game nights back. And
Don't buy the game!
Yeah, it's interesting to note that this is the exact same line of bullshit that they trotted out when Manhunt 2 came out, and now they're acting like, oh, that never happened. Nintendo's always been very family-friendly.
Now I'm not standing up for them.
Or Resident Evil 4, which was also mature.
The thing is that it's their Wii. But I mean, this is what they're used to.
15 love.
And this is what is going to be coming out of their screen.
The National Institute on Media and the Family has a long history of being antagonistic toward video games. This is nothing new.
No, not at all.
It's not like they're surprised. It's like, there's such a thing as violent video games? Like I said, that is almost the exact same language they used when Manhunt 2 came out.
I know. I'm not by any means defending them as much as I'm looking.
I know you're not defending them.
To segue into awful Mad
I'm just
World
giving context
audio.
to the issue.
What did that chainsaw call me?
What does that chainsaw call me?
I just heard BAM, motherfucker.
Every enemy apparently just yells, "I'm going to get you, motherfucker."
There's swearing in this game? Oh, this is a return.
Is there swearing in this game? There are two announcers. Shane, who are they played by?
Greg Proops and John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio. Here's a little clip of them.
Playful banter.
Not only can I here.
You know what I don't get? I don't get why they call him Little Eddie when he's so fucking big. I think it's supposed to be ironic.
It's that's Marcus Phoenix, basically. John DiMaggio and Greg Proops, the announcer of the Pod Racing episode 1.
Oh my God, it is.
And that's the most pleasant you're going to hear it sound. Compared to this, this is going to be the most annoying audio you've ever heard.
Are you a fucking doctor? No. Well, then shut your pie hole. The guy's dead. He has not talked, and he is but a man.
Oh.
I just want.
It's like I was actually in a club trying to hear what someone was telling me.
I want to blow through these real quick. We may not even be able to hear them.
My ex-wife screaming when I walked in on her having sex with another guy. She screamed because you scared her? Nope, she screamed because she said I was embarrassing her in front of the company.
And then Quadraneros came around lap 2.
I'm really excited because Wii owners, what is this, Nymph? actually purports himself to be stupid enough to buy a game with an M rating on it and then play it and be surprised
Yeah,
that their kids turned into gangster rappers. Oh no!
by dialogue such as this.
When those wankers wobble, there's shit ducks for any shit going on them. Could you write, I suck bum cock on their foreheads with lipstick? Well, you could, but it wouldn't help you win Death Block.
But by far, like what I try to segue into, is racism. I heard tons of racism accusations towards Resident Evil 5. Absolutely none towards Mad World. And they've introduced this character. His name is Black Baron. Baron Black, and he's clearly, I don't believe, voiced by a white person.
His name is Ching Chong Darky.
By a black person, and this is I did like a lot of Mad World. A lot of what annoyed me was the audio, the announcers, the streaming single rap song. There's going to be some interference. Ladies and gentlemen, Black Baron.
Y'all know who I am. That's right, the Bishop of Blood and Carnage, the Black Baron. Now back to this baby. You just toss a motherfucker into this here jet engine and accelerate that ass into the danger zone at 30,000 G's. What's going on, baby? Yeah, can't you see? Hey, what you doing? I'm talking to the people. I'm breaking it down. Ah, God, bitch! I'm gonna pimp smack your ass when I get. Oh.
Wow. Piss smack your ass? Did I hear that?
Because that's what black people do, right? Right?
Oh, pimp smack or piss smack?
Especially when they're in Sin City minstrel makeup, which is basically what this guy looks like. Not a single complaint yet about this in technically a more dangerous game than Resident Evil.
I don't think that's any worse than Coltrane, though.
Yeah, no, there's
a game
never
that sold 3 million copies. Like,
did I mention he's in a pimp suit? in blackface and a. Here, let me play one more clip of the Baron.
Yeah. What we got right here is guaranteed pure satisfaction for that ass. A deep whistle exclusive. The world's fastest express train. 8-ton motherfucking K.A. The Rocket Reba.
What is he talking on a train station?
And both of those, I wish it'd be a better joke, but he's talking in front of a jet engine. That's actually what he's doing. You're throwing people in a jet engine, which is cool. It makes Mad World kind of cool. What is it scoring on Metacritic right now?
It's averaging an 86, including a 9.1, a 91 from 1UP, which I guess is an A umlaut, and an IGN is a 9.
I completely respect it because I mean, as annoying as that shit is, completely different than anything I've seen on not just the Wii but any other system.
Yeah,
that's true.
Nintendo Power 9, GameSpy 8, GameSpot 7.5.
Yeah, it's not. What you won't see. Here's what I'll predict. You won't see a lot of Mad World imitators. Ever. Ever.
It's one of those things where I'm really curious how it sells. Like, it's one of those. If this doesn't do anything either, I think this is just going to be it. Like, Wii is just going to be developers are just going to have to quit.
Well, no, Codemasters has to try and fail because they recently said, we don't understand this tactic of producing nothing but casual games. We have to, we're going to make games for hardcore gamers for the Wii.
Thing is, no hardcore gamer wants to play with a Wii remote and nunchuck on that system. Like, it's just
I was willing
it's really awkward.
I was willing to. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, I was willing. I beat Twilight Princess like that, and then playing it with a GameCube controller, I'm like, oh wait, this is much better.
Okay. Speaking of advocacy groups that are doing nothing but good for gaming and in all its forms, just this.
Yeah, Chris and I were an unbelievable team. I thought there was no dungeon he couldn't navigate, no foe he couldn't outfight. Huh. What a fantasy. We started losing, consistently. It's not that the challenges got harder. His skills got worse. Why? It's because Chris started getting high.
Oh, you did? Oh, it's not another government thing. Oh,
yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah. Of course nobody says, because Chris started getting drunk.
They started getting drunk.
That's because Anheuser-Busch owns so many baseball stadiums.
Part of this is a part of a new ad campaign. What did they say? To dramatize how bad a stoner can be at video games, the site interviews computer-generated characters who laments the demise of gamer friends of hers and his.
But, I mean, depending on what your view of gaming is, I mean, nobody but stoners plays video games.
That and like the website.
I mean, that's like the other. It's either losers who live in their parents' basement or stoners. Those are the two stereotypes held by non-gamers of adult gamers.
Let's listen to the really short. That one was an elven guy in an arm sling playing chess. And this is a girl ninja.
I used to have a good time playing with Lyle.
Oh
we made
man,
a good
it's got
team.
hot.
He had skill.
Sex?
He had swiftness. Well, he used to anyway. In our last fight, Lyle decided to get high. And it was simply sayonara skill, sayonara swiftness.
Because she's Japanese!
Oh! These kind of bug me just because there's such a critical misunderstanding here. It's like, we don't see video game characters as partners that we're working with.
Yeah.
They're either pawns we're controlling, or we see them as ourselves.
It's a clever nod.
Or they're annoying ass AI. We're like, get out of my way, get out of my way, get out of my way.
Yeah.
Stop standing in the doorway.
I will stab you. I will stab you repeatedly. It will do nothing, but I will stab you because it makes me feel
I can
better.
only deal with your bullshit when I'm high, you bitch.
Well, what bothers me the most, this is all at abovetheinfluence.com. I can't not recommend it enough. Smoking pot affects alertness, concentration, perception, coordination, and reaction time. Many of the skills required for winning a battleground, defeating an opponent, beating games, in addition to safe driving and other tasks.
That's why it's fun.
It's not that, but the answer,
to the challenge.
the counterpoint is on your Xbox 360 if you have Netflix online. Super High Me. I just want to recommend the movie real quick. A guy gets high. He stays sober for 30 days. Gets his mental capacity, physical capacity tested. None of that is affected. He scored higher after he spent 30 days smoking pot. More importantly, what you have to remember is that these are all paid for, mostly, by the alcohol and tobacco companies.
Yeah. Doesn't the Church of Scientology have a stake in those as well?
That too. Yeah. A bunch of shadier organizations that I would recommend way less. Who here smokes pot on a regular basis? I'm not a pot smoker.
I'd like to see something like from a racial epithet saying, "Oh, Charlie screamed me much less frequently after he'd been smoking weed."
I think I have that right here.
Yeah. What we got right here is...
It's a pizzle snot.
Yeah.
Ow! Right up in here with that ganja.
That is relevant to our conversation.
You see, when I do it, it's racist.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. That's the difference. When somebody records that.
Yizzles. I got a new chisel snallenge.
that kind of bullshit focused stuff like, oh, let's get the gamers. What do gamers like? They like to play games. But what if getting high made them bad at games?
I resent.
Well, then they wouldn't want to
That
get
makes
high.
me want to get stoned and play video games just to see if it makes a difference.
Exactly. Most of those ads make me want to I don't believe you. You're lying. I'm just going to do this despite.
I don't even like pot, but those ads make me want to go smoke pot.
They are lying.
They're lying.
It's just as someone who, honestly, with no facetious joke here at all, has never gotten high. Don't care, have no interest in it. Why would you lie about it? It's paid for by people who already have a stake in other addicting, destructive hobbies. I like to drink. Well, you know what? I know it's bad for me. I made that decision for myself. I don't use it to excess. I don't go drive when I'm shit-faced. That's an adult decision. Getting high, that should be a choice. Just say it.
Yeah, instead of all these ads, it's like, well, if they make it legal, then it'll be legal for people to drive while stoned, or for doctors to get stoned before they operate on people.
Yeah, because that happens all the time. You would be held up to the same scrutiny as showing up to the work drunk. Oh, you're drunk, fired. That's you showed up.
Oh God, I hope not.
I know. Ever since the hippies made grass legal, it's been illegal for me to fire anyone for showing up stoned in the hills.
Yes. Seriously, if you're downing too much NyQuil, you'll come under the same scrutiny.
Yeah.
It's just I just hate a corporation trying to identify.
I hate that. I'm starting to hate almost all ads. You see that UK ad where that against diabetes, childhood diabetes in the UK, and he's holding a PlayStation controller. implying that playing PlayStation on your couch leads to diabetes in children.
Well, Christ, look how fat I am.
And not the
Look
giant.
how fat I am, mother.
Not the giant glass of Kool-Aid out of frame.
Yeah, I don't know what's more ridiculous, that ad or the outrage in reaction to it. Like, how can you say that video games contribute to obesity?
I think
that area is going to contribute.
Usually, what they do is they add in an unlicensed controller that they get permission to use, but they used an official, extremely recognizable PlayStation.
Now Sony's going to fuck them in the ass.
Good, and they deserve that. For having the gall to imply that. You know what's the leading cause of diabetes? Diet soda. Diet soda with the sugar substitutes that they have to continue. Remember NutraSweet? Yeah, it turns out it gave you cancer. Yeah. Sorry.
Oops.
Like that.
Oops, we're not held up to responsibility. Sorry.
Yeah. It was diet soda. It just makes me mad.
Somebody's widow got a great check for losing their husband.
Yeah, no, the outrage over the PlayStation controller, it seems ridiculous, but if they had put a Pepsi can in that person's hand, Pepsi would have gone ballistic.
And everyone would have been like, well, you fucked with Pepsi. Could have done that. Don't trifle with Pepsi. But speaking of sodas, I'll segue into this. GamePro.
Sony's reaction is reasonable because that's using their product, but I'm just saying they're like if you ever go to GamePolitics.com, there's always people going apoplectic. How can you say that video games contribute to obesity? That's ridiculous.
And they are sedentary.
And the kid looks like he's been hit with an ether rag.
Yeah,
he's kind of lazy-eyed.
Well, it's one of those things where the truth lies in the middle, somewhere between the technophobic ad and the gamers going, "Oh, my hobby gives me six-pack abs."
I get that, but I don't like the fact that a controller does imply a sedentary lifestyle and not a book, or perhaps a pen and paper, because you know how many people walk around and use that.
Dude, I often draw while I jog.
Yes.
But the thing is that a kid reading a book, you would assume, he's improving his mind until you angle the book 30 degrees upward and you see he's reading Swedish porn.
On his Amazon Kindle.
He is 800 pounds.
No, he's reading Mao's Little Red Book. Suddenly it's not so enriching anymore.
I'm gonna use this to segue soda, I think. This is barely a segue. But I'm all about.
Time to get moving.
GamePro announced amongst its bizarre news that it's announced a distribution deal with 7-Eleven, which an increased presence for GamePro magazine on its 20th anniversary, and an increased presence and a free magazine for distribution in 7-Elevens.
It's funny, they say an increased presence. My stepmom used to be the managing editor of GamePro, and she is constantly. She likes to check up on her, her old job, and she has to search for GamePro. You cannot find it in Barnes & Noble. You cannot find it in Borders.
You're right.
An increased presence means a presence. It's in 7-Eleven now.
It's not in airports.
Where was it before?
Most of our magazines are in airports.
I have not seen a copy of GamePro for like a year at least.
It's funny, the discrepancy there, because this is probably going 16, 17 years ago, goddamn almost 20 years ago. When I would go get a GamePro, that was the magazine, it was either Nintendo Power, EGM, or GamePro. Those are the three magazines I read a lot as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it was any three of them were easy to find.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned that, I don't remember the last time I saw a GamePro.
You don't even see it.
I know it is still published because they tell me it is, but
I see the guys all the time. They're lovely people. I wish I could remember the names specifically. I see them all the time.
There's nothing wrong with the magazine. I just never see it. I see a magazine called Retro Gaming at the bookstores, and all these other magazines.
Wow, I want to work for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, great. But I see a lot of very niche stuff, and I don't see GamePro, which used to be the magazine for games on every platform.
Yeah. Your magazine for Street Fighter covers 93 through 97.
The place to go if you want your games reviewed in cartoon executions.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the degree of the execution, he's hung. Oh, that's a two.
If you want your games reviewed by people using pseudonyms and cartoon avatars.
Which, by the way, if you didn't know, Dan Emmerich, Dan Electro, formerly
That's right, Dan
GamePro.
Electro. And my stepmom was the Black Widow. She had her own action figure as well.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the Black Widow at GamePro, and Dan worked for her.
Yeah.
Dan's wife is Miss Spell, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kat also worked for her, knows her well. So
Miss Spell.
this
And we're gonna keep dropping. I'm pretty sure Rob Smith from PlayStation.
This industry is incredibly incestual. You know, my stepmom was Dan's boss. I worked with Dan when he was on Games Radar. Now he's on OXM. It is a stupid industry.
It is strange. We'll have interns here that are now at GameSpot. It's.
And I only want to say that, and I want to see how people feel about this. GamePro Labs, a company that will start to develop iPhone games.
Yeah.
And Xbox Live, no PSN, no mention of PSN. I think they specified that it would be XNA, it would be the community games. That's where they'd start.
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling they'd rather make money in the XBLA category. I mean, if tomorrow our boss told us we had to start developing games, would we be comfortable with that?
You'd say how?
How?
Step one. How?
Here's a bunch of phone book sized books on C++.
If we had to develop games, I would jump onto XBLA, because the XNA toolkit I've messed with because I like messing with programming, and it works. It's hard. Programming's hard, but I made a very simple, stupid game with the XNA toolkit that Microsoft provides for free, and they provide, C#, the programming language compiler, and everything for free. And they really do try to support the community of beginning developers.
I understand that. I do wonder. Think if GamePro once reported on its own game, how would you take that?
Depends weird. How many smiley faces they give it.
That was weird because for a long time, Matt Casamassina from IGN was supposed to be working on a Wii game, I thought, and then I admittedly have not kept up with that information.
Yeah, I do believe that's absolutely fine.
Is this a new trend? Should we be making a game?
Dude, should I be making an Engage game or what?
No, I'd much rather make fun of games not knowing anything about the process.
Yeah.
Should we do interviews with ourselves? So Tyler,
but that's the exact reason why I don't play Little Big Planet, because I want to play them and not make them.
Which
snap! The Little Big Planet.
On a related note, this kind of it's on topic, but it goes back to when I was gone in Japan to see Lost Planet 2.
Yeah.
About seeing behind the scenes of games. I still am under embargoes. I can't go into anything what I actually saw. But one of the things that they did for us was they took us. This is Capcom's headquarters proper, like in Japan, their giant building with a huge Capcom logo on it. They took us behind the scenes to look at the people actually making Lost Planet 2. And this is the first time I had ever actually been in that office where these are the people hunched over their computers making the game. And I got an actual sense of, holy Christ, this is so much work. Because just in the 2 minutes we were standing there, I saw one guy animating a Vital Suit, which we know was in the first Lost Planet, so no surprise there that Vital Suits are in Lost Planet 2. He's literally animating. I see him with a model of the Vital Suit, a mech basically. Pushes a button, it animates. He changes one pixel, pushes a button, animates. Changes another pixel, pushes a button, animates. Changes another pixel. Over and the whole time they're telling me well, here's what we did. I could not take my vision away from this poor guy just animating the same thing probably 1,000 times a day. And then I look to the right and it's someone drawing out a background. And then I look to next to them, it's someone just doing the same kind of mundane tasks over and over to 1,000 degrees. So when you finally put it together to make a game, I would be so sick of it, and I wouldn't see a game. I would just see coordinates and scripts. I would not even be able to enjoy video games.
I think fixing a typo.
But I'm also glad I've never been shown that, because it reminds me of my parents. You want to eat your peas? You want to see what work goes into peas? This is what National Geographic people look like when they starve. You should feel guilty, and I think that would work on me way better than any trip, here's a T-shirt. You're showing me how many people I'd punish by shitting on a game.
Yeah,
people behind
it does remind me of the fact that when a game comes out and it's not very good, I'm constantly what? How could they have let this go out like this? This seems so obvious that they needed to change this mechanic to work like this. Yeah. And then when I think about it like that, someone's sitting there trying to animate this shit and they're... Yeah. Well, I realize it's very hard to make a game.
The difference with that is Lost Planet 2 will probably be good.
Yeah, it'll probably be great.
So, I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those things, even if a game is shit, somebody put hundreds of hours into it.
More news. Hollywood is gearing up for a Stranglehold movie, thus defeating the entire purpose of the game. The whole point of the game is that they could never make that movie. And
I would really love to see in this movie some guy going around destroying like 20 drug labs, just one after the other. Boom, boom,
jumping across 1,900 tables.
So then the question is, when they make this movie, will it be labeled a video game adaptation?
That's what's weird. I say, wow, you're really desperate for ideas. I could probably come up with something better, because I love Stranglehold, and
you got drunk excessively on camera for that.
No, I played it way later, and Stranglehold is a lot of fun. It's really stupid.
No, it's not.
It's really stupid.
I played it. It's destroy some more drug labs. You have 15 more to go.
It was shoot people in slow motion while jumping off of banisters.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. You skip the cut.
But it was so sensitive. It was like you touch that table, thus you're gonna slide across it. And
look, I like Hard Boiled in terms of what I wanted to play. Yes, it worked well for me. You know what didn't work? Story, which I'm assuming the movie is going to have to contain some of.
As exciting as Stranglehold background information is, can we do something else?
I really meant to say.
I want to really quickly though. I want to make fun of the multiplayer, and this applies to a lot of old games that have multiplayer for no reason, because you try to get into the Stranglehold multiplayer, there's literally no one in the world is playing. There is not a single person in the entire world playing Stranglehold online.
Playing Stranglehold.
Same with Katamari on the 360. Not a single person in the world.
Dude, that's how Dark Sector was. When I played through it a second time, and I was like, I wonder if the oh no, I can't.
I know, it's amazing. You think of the population of the world, and no one is playing it.
It's interesting. Lost Planet, I found out the first one was still I think is still fairly popular for multiplayer, especially in Japan. Like, people are still really into it. I would have thought it was totally dead, but it's not.
Yeah.
Interesting anecdote.
It's like either you make a game that is going to be great for multiplayer, like Call of Duty 4, that people are going to play for years to come, or you don't. In which case, no one will be playing it. Like Chris was saying a while ago.
People are still playing Shadowrun.
Yeah, Chris was saying a while ago that Shadowrun has become anarchy. It's on your mic, douchebag.
Shadowrun has become, I hate to say this, but beyond Thunderdome. There's no one there adminning. And it's just I jumped in. I'm like, oh, this seems kind of cool. Team killed. What do they do? Nobody's watching them. They're like the children of the corn. It's disgusting. They're killing.
The servers are still up.
Yes.
The servers are still up for Shadowrun. It's not been axed at this point.
You know, I thought I read recently that they are still up, the servers.
Why?
It's completely inactive because, I mean, if you think about it, it was a promise made to gamers.
Yeah, the game's still on sale. It's a multiplayer only game.
And the game's being sold at new in retail stores. It has to have the multiplayer up. It's not being updated or enforced or good.
Dude, I was staring at you, looking at you talking, but the moon is directly behind you, and it was captivating.
I made that happen.
It's a blood moon. Dracula is risen tonight.
The moon.
All right, what are we talking about, Slick?
What are we talking about? We're talking about Shane and me interviewing the biggest and best celebrity of all time.
Hey, Chris. Hey, David. Mr. Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff, in honor of Ready to Rumble Revolution on the Wii, which I couldn't.
Oh, Hasselsnap!
I could not get him to discuss the game for more than a couple seconds.
Neither could I when I asked him about playing games.
He was all over the place. I feel bad. He was a very nice guy. I do have to play this.
Hey, I've gotten everything today. So we're like your 50th phone call. No, not 50th, but it's cool. You'll do the last one, and then I'm off and running. Okay. I'm off and running.
He's off and running.
He's off and running.
Jesus, he is. Oh wow.
My last name is Wild, and I don't use it. I don't use it as a joke.
Clearly, you need to make more jokes.
I don't think I've ever used my last name as a joke, and it's Wild.
The thing is, I'm sure
that
he's doing it in reaction to everyone else on the planet making jokes out of
Hey,
it.
so everyone, start using my last name as a joke. I'd really appreciate it. I need something to distinguish myself.
He's a wild man. He parties.
All right.
Woo!
He wanted to put it out there that he's like, Americans think he's a joke, and that painted the entire.
I don't have a lot of clips of that, but there was a lot of like the comedian. Oh man, it's all so messed up.
Yeah, it was very self-depreciating,
but
not humorous.
The guy is very charismatic. I had all these questions prepared. He Heisman me, boom, stiff-armed, would not let me answer them, and was just kind of funny. And this is like at the very beginning of the interview, something where he committed a PR disaster after I told him he was free to curse.
Say whatever you want. But you should do that. You should invent a game like for people with Tourette's syndrome. You know, like everyone get up and somebody who can say as many curse words as possible. How would you control it? Well, yeah, that's true. Have you ever? No, never mind. Let's not go there.
Have you ever?
He was just about to go into his routine about a Tourette's syndrome.
Have you ever eaten a hamburger on the floor?
It goes a little something like this.
I think it may go a little something like this. He's in Ready to Rumble Revolution boxing, the third game in the Ready to Rumble series.
A franchise that I thought was all but dead.
All but dead, but it was never bad. Is the thing. It was always kind of fun.
I always associated it with the Dreamcast launch, which makes me associate it with failure. Because I don't want to paint this picture that I hated the Dreamcast, because I did not. I was actually very attached to it, but it's just like, at this point, all I could think of those launch games was, wow, Dreamcast launch was not very good.
I don't know why I depended on Mr. Hasselhoff for more information, because the second game you played as Michael Jackson called Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And Michael Jackson loved the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
And but he's playing a character called Dewey Strudel. Dewey Strudel. It's not really David Hasselhoff. I gotta give the man.
No, but it's making fun of the fact that he's big in Germany.
I gotta give the man a little leeway to talk about his character.
Hearing in Ready to Rumble Revolution. Well, no, my parody is. My caricature. I have no choice but to appear. But he represents your likeness, right? Not even close to my likeness. No, is it just your... But I mean, I have a bra line, so I have to promote it. Okay. Actually, when it came across my desk, I said, well, they can't do this. They can't do this. They said, yes, they can. It's a parody of you. You're Dewey Strudel. I said, well, then I better promote it.
Perfect logic.
Well, you can't
then I better promote it.
I had all these questions prepared, like...
Well, wait, what wouldn't... If like, let's say someone made a parody of me in a game... And then I came across my desk, and I was like, well, they can't do that. Yes, they can. It's parody. Well, I should promote it. I would just give them permission to use my likeness at that point. Because
I didn't use it.
Because if I were promoting it, that's the same as me.
He made the example of the E! True Hollywood Story. We're doing a documentary about you.
Right.
I'm not going to participate. Well, we're doing it anyway. Well, I may as well participate for some money.
Didn't Dennis Rodman finally end up voicing Zack in one of the DOA Extreme games?
No idea.
I'm on it.
Until then, I think I should play a clip about how my failed line of questioning went about.
You appear shirtless in the game. It's not my fault. I have a shirtless and I have a bra line. I only noticed.
Why does he keep saying bra line?
I did because I was really trying to avoid that whole you were drunk on camera eating a hamburger. I don't care about that. It's not funny to me. And
it was like he was baiting me to ask him that.
Kind of.
It kind of seemed like he was angry that you were asking him about the game.
But I was only asking because I Google searched him and then hit images. The first 3 pages are him shirtless. So I just assume his body repels fabric or something like that.
According to IMDb, he did voice Zack in Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Oh, wow. Where's
Way
that
to go.
sound?
Wow, Wikipara strikes again.
Somebody calls you in the patch contest Rippy. Michael Rippy Raparez.
You need to have some awards.
Rippy or Rippy?
Rippy.
You need to have some awards called the Rippies.
Rippy,
the Rippies.
Oh, young James Spader.
And do we all remember his 1999 hit, Simon Says?
Okay.
With a Z.
Enough of this bullshit. I conquered a barrier, and it's a lifelong dream. I told David Hasselhoff he was free to say whatever he wanted.
I'm the only celebrity who sucked up.
What?
I asked him.
I
asked him if he liked games and how involved with games he actually was. I should preface that a little more.
I'm the only celebrity who sucked up to a game store opener 3 years ago using my name. Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, Knight Rider, Baywatch, to get a game for my daughter because that's all she wanted was the Wii, and I couldn't understand what the fuck a Wii was. And so I went out and got a Wii, sucked up to the guy, couldn't believe it was me, and now I'm hooked on this game. I'm actually hooked on a lot of the Wii games, especially Guitar Hero. And
yes.
And that Wii game, Guitar Hero.
Dude, he's a commanding force. I thought, like, I'm tough, I'll get in there. He threw me around the ring interview-wise.
Destroyed you.
But then I let Shane in, and because he started talking about it, Shane, tag. Let's see how you can do. He was talking about his music. Are we familiar that he sung a song on the Berlin Wall? And I wanted to include more.
Do people of our age area know the Berlin Wall?
The Berlin Wall. It was the wall separating West and East Germany. Something that was set up during the Cold War, and David Hasselhoff sung a song on it while it was being torn down, basically bridging East and West Germany into fucking Germany again, circa 1989. And he was there.
It was Christmas Eve. He
was there.
1990.
In January 3rd, it went down.
I remember watching it on TV, but I was really young.
I remember not understanding it. My parents telling me it's a historic day. It's a historic day.
My parents said, "Look at this," and I still to this day have not read enough about it to understand.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
The funny thing that I didn't have time to include because I'm trying to make this short because this was like a 30-minute interview that he hung up on me on. Is that no? He had a lot of if people really want to hear this full interview, let me know. We'll post it. Shane took. Did you spill?
Don't worry about it. I'm under the table. I'm just hanging out.
Bread is out under the table with a paper towel. He didn't spill anything.
You're eating off the floor?
I spilled some of my soda. Delicious Dr. Pepper on the floor.
Shane denies this. I asked him, like, man, were you throwing jabs at
Absolutely
Hasselhoff?
not. No.
It's okay. It's okay. It's on record. Like, I thought it sounds like Shane is like, yeah, well hold on. Here, we'll listen to this
clip.
Shane made
jabs at the Hoff?
Shane was really apt to be like to ask anything, like way more than I was. He didn't. From the audio, you don't seem as intimidated as me.
I believe the song was "Looking for Freedom." Is that correct?
That was the song that was #1 for 8 weeks in Germany when the wall came down.
Man, that is exciting. Okay, so what was it like to single-handedly reunite Germany?
Well, I didn't do it single-handedly. Simon Cowell helped me.
Simon Cowell, okay.
It was Simon Cowell who actually did it. It wasn't really me. It was Simon Cowell. All credit goes to Simon Cowell.
Really?
I like how you say single-handedly reunite Germany, and then he says it wasn't just me, as if he implies that he did in fact reunite Germany to some extent.
Well, I'll take a part of that.
Well, I was only, about a third of the reuniting Germany force.
He handled it really well, and Shane handled it really well. And this exchange is long, but it has the greatest payoff of all time.
It makes me feel bad because
don't let it make you feel bad because it means that you really had an exchange going. And Shane denies this, but I thought, man, you were ready for this guy. You sound really sarcastic. Yeah, that's very interesting. Hey, what about this?
Not at all. We were slotted for 15 minutes. Okay, this is what I was thinking of the business side of the interview. We were slotted for 15 minutes. This guy was talking for like over 20, and he's rambling, and I want to hear more questions. And I didn't want him to cut us off and say, hey, I got to go because we want to get a Talk Radar plug. What happened? After about 25 to 30 minutes, that's exactly what he did. So I was trying to segue and go into more. Plus, I was nervous from talking to David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
So, and what he was saying about the Berlin Wall was interesting. So I was...
Seriously, post in the forums if you want us to post the whole interview. It's like 25 minutes. I'll be happy to do so. Here's Shane talking to David Hasselhoff.
Because I have to steer the conversation back to games. And you're no stranger to games. Do you play any other video games besides any of the knocking out in particular?
Yeah.
I should say that I edited this a little bit because his daughter came in the room
Yeah.
And hey, what's up, honey? Like, and that kind of destroys an interview.
If you go to Hasselhoff.com, you'll see all the parodies on Hasselhoff, which is wax on, wax off, where you can wax off my hair. And I play that game. I tear off the hair on my chest because I can't do it in person. And then I play Pac-Man, where I can eat my own head, which is really good. I get to eat myself all day long. And then I play a lot of Wii, and I'm on Nintendo, and I'm also on Electronic Arts Red Alert, which is cool because you get to play a character. But right now, Atari came by with this game and said, they showed me the character, and I got it right away. I love it. I think it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Believe me, I've seen enough caricatures on YouTube. So this one is, at least this one's positive.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into that territory at all.
Not.
So, mostly you really like the games that pretty much star you.
No, I like the games that are interactive, that have fun. I like, no. The answer is no, and that's a stupid question.
And you're stupid for asking it, Shane.
That's all he went and rambled about. Eat my own head, shave my own chest, play me in pain.
That's a stupid question.
That's a stupid question.
I'm sorry, you just led me to believe the interviewer that that was the case.
That was kind of.
He sounded really bitter to me when he was talking about that.
The whole time he's like, you guys think it's stupid that I sung on the Berlin Wall and I'm big in Germany, but I am. And yeah, you laugh about it. I'm cool with that.
Wasn't at all.
Yeah, we weren't.
It's stupid. Everyone else seems
we weren't,
to.
We weren't saying that. Like, the reality is, I haven't seen your music. I haven't heard your music. I haven't seen your videos. I know nothing about you as a pop star. The Germans do, and they like you. Who cares?
What I do know is that Red Alert's cool because you play a character.
What? All right, Tyler's going to make fun of David Hasselhoff.
No, I
asked a question specifically for Brett. It's about the NES, Knight Rider.
Oh, yeah.
Here goes.
I'm dying to ask you about the original Knight Rider on the Nintendo.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, because Devin and Bonnie are in it, but you're nowhere to be seen.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Why not?
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
I can tell he's passionate.
Wow, I fucking stumped.
Yes, he had no idea he wasn't in that. And
wow!
Had no answer. I wasn't in a 20-year-old game. Somebody should have told me. It's been
But
2 decades.
that was like at the height of the show's popularity, from what I remember at watching the show.
Looking at the videos, it's got characters in the show and not star.
And from I remember renting it, and I don't remember seeing him in it, so I watched a YouTube clip, and I still didn't see him in it. So that's weird.
He actually gave a legitimate explanation. Knight Rider was licensed out like a mofo.
Yeah, it was.
At that point, and
the cover of the box was just the car. They sold it on the car alone.
This is how the interview actually ended. We're not going to end it like that because Hoff deserves better.
Oh man, I was going to suggest something.
Yeah, I know.
It was because I found some news that he was recording an all Oasis cover album. And I told him that I wanted to suggest some covers because I'm really like Oasis is my guilty pleasure. We should do Don't Hold Back in Anger and Live Forever. And
all those songs are very uplifting.
He was kind of like, they should call, where'd you get that? I'm like, Wikipedia. They should call it Wankopedia, that stupid shit. That's not my bio.
Why don't you just play him saying that
This is how the interview actually ended.
Oh man, I was going to suggest something.
Yeah, I know you were, but I don't have time. Anyway, I gotta run. My daughter's here.
Sure.
So, you guys have a great day, and thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, David.
All right, guys. Bye.
Click.
He knew you were going to, but he doesn't have.
Wow, it's like, oh, that's a great question. I gotta go.
Actually, what turned him off, he was like, I was in the SpongeBob movie. I'm like, I really loved you in the SpongeBob movie. That was really funny. And he's like, yeah. He was...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He hated that.
Yeah,
like, he's tired of playing himself, and that was like all parody, and half the joke was on him.
That's the thing. I'm sure that any genuine adulation sounds like sarcasm to him now. Like, especially from 20-somethings steeped in irony as you are.
It might be because we asked him if there was going to be a game version of Anaconda 3. Which he...
Oh, you should never take my advice.
Which is one of the few movies that he starred in as anybody other than David Hasselhoff.
I still just love the fact that he was genuinely stumped. The fact he was not in the Knight Rider NES game. He's a busy man. Really?
He was actually about that time that the Knight Rider game was coming out for the NES. He was way deep in Baywatch.
Yeah.
It was like 90, like 4 years after the show had been canceled.
Yeah.
Here's the Hasselhoff's words to live by.
You guys are interviewing me, which means I'm still in the game.
Oh, hell yeah, you
which
are.
is great. And so if I'm in the game, what does that mean? It means I'm in the game. And as long as I'm in the game, I can play. And as long as I can play, I can win.
Is he a
and that's what life's about, man.
Yeah,
you gotta stay in the game. No matter what people deal you stay in the game. And when you come out of the game and you take yourself seriously and you stay at home, you're out of the game and you can't play, you know? And so the reason I love this game is because I can be able to knock Simon Cowell out and he's able to knock me out. And anybody who ever wanted to knock me out, come on, let's go, you know? And but it allows me to knock them out too, so it's fun.
That's good. That's a fair trade. I mean, personally, I don't think should ever take a swing at you, David. But
Does he have like some sort of feud with Simon Cowell?
No, they're both in Ready to Rumble. There's like
yeah, I know, but that's like the second time he's brought him up.
Well, he actually talked a little bit about his America's Got Talent contract. Like I think he may be having trouble getting that show renewed. He's basically Simon Cowell on it. You know what?
Well, I think Cowell executive produces that show too.
Right. One piece of news as well.
Oh, go ahead, sweetie.
This just in.
Oh my god.
Apparently, as we podcast, Activision has trademarked Sing Hero.
They would.
So I saw this on the.
That's not news. That happens all the time.
It's like
another hero. Who cares?
They've got guitar. They've got DJ. They've got DJ Hero, which we know is coming. And according to GameSpot, Band Hero was a rumor, and now they have trademarked Sing Hero, which is like, so basically you're going to take Guitar Hero World Tour now, and then whore out each individual aspect of it. Like, now get ready for Drumming Hero. And then they will try 3 years from now to be like, guys, get ready, it's time for, get this, Guitar Hero. Like,
what?
That's the same exact news as like 2 weeks ago when it was announced Samuel L. Jackson has signed on to star in 9 Marvel movies. He's like in 7 movies a year. That's not news.
The guy loves. We counted 2008. He's in 9 movies.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah, he's actually in one of my home movies. It's really amazing. We're at the beach, and there he is.
Oh, before we go, even news that breaks even harder. Jesus, this is getting so fucking lame. And even stronger news. We have BioShock 2's existence is officially confirmed.
Well, we knew.
Yeah, we knew that.
It was already confirmed. We saw that.
That's nothing new.
It was a teaser.
They released the trailer. And
before you jump all over me, can we please just tell the listeners that we discussed what we'll say in this next
think we'd
break?
rather jump all over you.
All right. Yes.
The thing is, it's one of those situations where we know a lot that we cannot say. But what we can say is the cover of Game Informer has a big sister on it.
A big sister.
Which to me, I don't know. It really just smacks of a room going, well, I don't know. There were little sisters last time, so how about a big one?
Remember how we had a Big Daddy? You remember that?
I know, because
shouldn't it be like a Big Mama or something?
The design of this character, the big sister, is, and there's a little sister riding on its shoulder.
Big Mama.
It couldn't be a sexy robot if it was Big Mama.
It's like it's thin. It's thin. It looks somewhat agile. It looks.
Really? Why would they want it to be more agile? And
it's the Apple version of a Big Daddy.
It just seems very silly because the Big Daddy looked clumsy and like something that could function under that much pressure.
So
and water.
why would they? I don't know why they'd want it to seem less clumsy and formidable.
Oh, I know, Big Daddy.
You know, I can't say anything else except that I'm glad it takes place on Rapture, and I think you'll be surprised at who you'll take control of.
Yes, that is true. I just can't get over the design of that thing. Like, it looks like it's trying too hard to be cool. It's got like belt buckles and all kinds of things all over it, whereas the Big Daddy was mostly like, I'm a diving suit,
This is the make or break game.
Yeah.
Because this is clear. Like
I still want it to be like I don't mean to like jump all over it right away. It's just when they drip feed you shit, all you can do is analyze that stuff they give you.
Yeah.
So
I have faith in it because it's by a lot of the same people.
It is.
Yeah,
it is,
it's
it
one
is
of those
by,
things. I bet it'll be a perfectly good
It
game.
is by an overwhelming majority the same people.
Yeah.
Sans Ken Levine, but the level designer is there completely.
Mhm.
And
But I mean, 2K Marin is made up from people who were formerly of Irrational Games. So.
I feel like it'll be a Resident Evil 5-ish situation where it will be a great game, but it will lack the extra thing, the intangible.
I think
efforts that
when you lack someone at the creative helm like that, you usually lose restraint.
Yeah, and that's what the Big Sister seems to me is like. Make a big sister.
Kind of.
It goes from a strong authorial voice to kind of designed by committee.
Well, what did the focus group say?
Yeah.
They wanted to play as Optimus Prime.
Oh,
we'll get this.
We're just came down from corporate. We want a big daddy with kids.
No, not Optimus. So it's Octopus Prime, right?
Octopus Prime.
And what happened to
I drew that picture. Did you see that?
I did see that on Charlie's desk. Octopus Prime will probably try to take a picture of it for the podcast page. I hope.
If we already did, it was a while ago.
Oh.
Welcome to Never.
Well, that's bull crap, darn it.
On that glorious note,
gosh,
we'll be back. We're going to tell you how to win some Resident Evil stuff. Announce the winner to some people who won some GTA contests of ours. And Brett Elson has some community.
I have some community.
Material.
I might have a couple things.
And Tyler Wilde, I think, is going to introduce a new segment for us.
I'd like.
Stupid Seven, as I can beat you with one button, because I can pull off a shuriken without even charging it. I'm big and blue and manly and... Oh, hi, El Pork from the forums, playing Street Fighter, and I'm whooping Seth's ass with Dan. Yeah, with Dan, and it's going really well. I'm definitely whooping him on hard, nonetheless. But that's besides the point. I'm here to promote Talk Radar because it's an awesome podcast with lots of hooker jokes and potty mouthery and stuff like that, and stuff where we love at our age of well, most of us are 16. I'm not. I'm 19, but that's besides the point. Tune in because it's a lot of fun to listen to. Yeah. Get back to Street Fighter now. Excuse me.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast? Yeah!
Yes, harder, better, faster, stronger. Talk Radar is back in minimal effect.
Woo!
There you go.
What?
Tyler's here.
I'm here.
Tyler's here. He's up and ready.
Yes, we're here.
What do we want to move into first, Elson? Oh,
we all had it sounds like we all had a huge fight over the break now, and we're all not talking to each other.
We did.
No, everybody's fascinated with this ding-dong internet. Song you're hearing, we're back to Rock Band DLC. Everybody's excited. I know Shane is. Losing my religion.
Really?
Oh man.
My religion is lost in Rock Band.
What were the other two songs?
Yes, if you had to know, it's a Crazy Taxi soundtrack.
Is it really?
The
Offspring. The kids aren't all right. The kids aren't all right. And yeah.
But guess what? And All I Want, and something by Richard Thompson, Old Dick Tomp. The way it shows. I'm done. Let's move on.
All right, let's
throwing that out there for anyone who gives a shit.
October 20th next year is a big day.
I'm so bored.
I know. I'm bored too, just talking about it.
I'm so bored.
Wow.
What do we have? I can announce some contest winners.
Contests.
Contest winners. I'm going to announce the winners of the Turtle Beach stuff next week because you guys sent me a lot of audio to listen to.
Turtle what?
Turtle. Did I say Turtle Beach?
Yeah, you did.
God damn it. Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach headphones, premium contest. You send us audio clips. I'm working my way through it. We'll see what we can post. But as far as the winners of the GTA patch goes,
what is the GTA patch contest? Did I miss that one?
Oh yeah, that's the design us a biker.
A biker patch for some GTA shirts, and it turns out I had 3 shirts, not 4. So we have, or not 3 shirts, not 2. So we have 3 winners.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, Squidhead 442. I believe we also it's time to get moving patch.
That's really good.
And I really did appreciate all the Duke Lombardi patches, except that I hate Duke Lombardi.
He does. It was funny over Watchmen. We were talking about Alan Moore not agreeing to let the Watchmen characters appear in more content, even though the public loves them, and then proceeded to talk about how he's tired of doing Duke Lombardi and doesn't want to do it anymore. When the public has decided that they like Duke Lombardi, and want to see him in more things.
The first time they I don't do Duke Lombardi, I commission it. For the first time, people seem to be like, "This is stupid." And I agreed since the first time.
It's because it wasn't scripted. If it was pre-written,
no time for that. Winner Squidhead 442 Hate Breeder. One of the first ones on there. We actually showed it on the page last of Talk Radar 41.
It was good.
Very pretty. You make Brett Elston look like Jabba the Hutt, and that's
it's like
you look kind of diseased.
I would say it's unflattering, but it doesn't look anything like you. So
I think it looks.
He doesn't know what your jawline looks like. He's going off that one where you're reading the magazine.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I just saw Blarg. It is grotesque for an otherwise pretty man.
It's a good patch though. I love the look of it though.
And user number 435. We'll forget that you're Michael's friend, and we're gonna give you a prize because you designed a kick-ass.
I don't have friends.
You do, and he apparently is the same name as you. His name is me.
No, that's
Michael. Yeah, they won. But here's the pure and simple next contest, and I want to reward.
Good job, man.
My favorite user, the person who gets what this the ending song is for Talk Radar 42. The one you will hear in several minutes, will get a Resident Evil 5 Special Edition Sans game. You'll get the Tricell satchel. Tricell?
Tricell. It's a company.
Tricell satchel, Chris Redfield figure, Kajuju necklace, and a BSAA patch. What is that? Bioterrorist stand in agreement of.
I don't remember. I collected all 30 of those fucking things.
It's bioterrorism search anti-assessment. Oh, I lost it.
There's probably an agency in there somewhere.
But the best thing about it is it's a patch that you can sew onto clothing.
But then you ruin its collector's value.
Yes.
If you put a needle through it,
yes,
that's meant to be used.
But our Watchmen contest is still going on. So
I googled BSAA and I got Black Sports Agents Association.
Wow. I didn't know there were black sports.
Or the Business Software Association of Australia. That's neither one of those are what it is.
No, I actually believe I have a clip of one of them.
Y'all know who I am. That's right, the Bishop of Blood and...
Oh dear. Oh dear. Bioterrorism Security Assessment
Alliance.
Wow.
It's an alliance to assess.
They're really good at assessing.
Wonderful. I'm glad people finally got behind assessing. The Watchmen contest is still going. You know what? You guys jump in the forums, gamesradar.com, forums tab, Talk Radar. If you want me to decide we have the Watchmen motion comics and free movie tickets. I'll decide those now and send those out as fast as possible because Watchmen Tales of the Black Freighter doesn't come out until the 24th, and those prizes obviously will be given to us later. So if you want us to decide now, I want to see some more entries, and I want to see some more people interested in deciding now, and we will send those mofos out immediately. Games Radar forums. If you can't find them yourself, you don't deserve to win.
So if you can't find the Talk Radar section of the GamesRadar.com forums,
yes,
which you can literally type into Google.
You don't deserve to listen.
You don't deserve to win. Okay.
You don't deserve to listen, and I believe your whoever empties your bedpan should stop updating your iTunes.
All right. So
one listener just shed a tear.
Tear, and then they blinked twice to mean stop playing.
I was gonna say he didn't shed a tear. He pushed the button for the nurse to come in. All right. Question. I know it's funny how we're on podcast 42. Question 25. Ultra. Right, that was a joke. Question 25 last week was name a game that started a fight, and we all kind of said what they were. Our users chimed in. Jimmy Smurf. Some of these were really violent, by the way. Like some of them were like, "Well, it wasn't really a fight. We got in an argument, and that was obnoxious and it was awkward." Many of them were brawls. Jimmy Smurf, longtime user of the forum, was pushed through a glass table over Mario Kart.
Jesus!
Wow!
Wow!
Divine Joe has a great story about multiple person fights over Counter-Strike 1.6.
Been there.
Including someone broke their collarbone and thumb.
Been there right when they got rid of Nuke, man. Then it got silly.
And he talked about like he went to boarding school, so it was a room full of dudes, probably not going to take any shit from anyone, and then they get in Counter-Strike fights and proceed to break bones. Another user named A Dirty Joke had a huge fight over a Majora's Mask where first he was hit in the head because he was hogging the system with a broom.
No, I want to go back in time every 10 minutes.
No, I want to lose my money. Oh! He retaliated after being hit in the head with a broom. He retaliates and hits the other guy in the face, and then proceeds to push the guy through a door, which was made of glass, shatters into pieces, and the kid has a piece of meat hanging from his face, where his cheek used to be. And wow, Majora's Mask 2000, let's go!
I hope it ends with I woke up and I wasn't in a Nicolas Cage movie.
But yeah, the thread is called Question 25, game that started a fight. I'm sure if you Google that, in addition to Games Radar, you'll find it's a really interesting thread, along with interesting tales from longtime users like El Pork, Wildfire, Ted Diddleo, and Zabu-san. All had good entries. And then also Squidhead442, I think who just won something, did he not?
Yeah, that's right.
Had a story about Animal Crossing, and he was trying to get them to hurry up playing. So was going to spray their leg with the compressed air. But when you turn that shit upside down, it blasts ice. Oh no! Wow!
Oh no!
That's a lot of soda on your keyboard there, Chris.
Wow.
A lot of the sugar water. Froze
Frozone from Incredibles.
No, froze a girl's leg with that ice, and she was like, "Oh my god, is my leg going to die?"
That was one of my tricks with that thing. I can freeze this bottle cap, and you take a bottle cap, turn it upside down. It's ice cold. Wow, I can't believe you did that to a human being.
Yeah.
Over what game?
Animal Crossing.
Of course. If there was any game to fight over.
Yeah.
Proof Animal Crossing causes violence.
I can pull the best beats.
There's no beats. The new users that get shutouts. Levy, get to the chopper. Samurai Lincoln, shake the crime stick.
You win. We should give him a prize for nothing.
Shake the crime stick wins. Steel Warhawk, and the next name I want to briefly. It won't be brief. I'll have to mention another one later. There's another new user I'll mention later. I'll get to it later. My question for this week is, which again, if you have a question submission, send it to my Games Radar Brett Elston account on the Games Radar messaging system. You create a profile, you can send me a message. There's a thread about it. I'll post it again. Send me your question of the week submissions. This week, 26. What is the most touching / poignant moment you've been through in a game that you actually were like, wow, this is connecting to me in some way?
That's a stupid question.
Yeah, Hasselhoff said so. Let's move on.
Damn it! The Hoff!
That's a stupid question.
We're going to get a lot of use out of that.
Oh, God, thank you, Shane, for hassling the Hoff. His words, seriously.
So, touching or poignant moment, like something in a game that actually was, you'd stop for a second to consider, wow, it meant something to you. Like, it actually connected you in some way. Like, for me, as silly as it is, because there's two sides to this. There's childish things, like for me, Mega Man 2, the ending, just the image of him walking.
Where'd he go?
It's like he's walking away.
Is he gonna come back?
There's this really sad music. I was crying, and I remember running to my mom like, Mega Man's dead! and just trying to like understand what does this ending even mean. It doesn't mean anything. Like it doesn't mean anything. But for some reason, it really hit me. Like I don't know why this is a big deal. The other one is like Godzilla for the NES. It's just Godzilla and Mothra sitting on an asteroid.
Godzilla.
And the guitars wailing and Brett's crying.
No. It's just really sad. It's just really sad music, and it doesn't correlate. Like
play it right now.
Okay, it's called okay. I'll play it. The music is playing now. It's supposed to be you just won. You beat the game, and it's like the saddest music in any NES game ever. And it's like what? But the most recent thing was the BioShock good ending. I thought that good ending was fantastic. Like doing as much you could with hardly any ending at all. Like it's like a minute long. And I don't know, the idea that you had that much impact on 5 specific lives, they went on to do something great. Or at least just lead normal lives. They didn't have to deal with their past at all. They just led normal existences. And the ending is them holding your hand as you finally die, presumably of old age.
I am not ashamed to admit I got a little choked up during that.
I honestly did.
All right.
I honestly did. Like, people were criticizing the endings because they were too short, and I'm not a fan of really short endings. Resident Evil 5, but when they matter, they did so much in 60 seconds that it was completely.
What did I tell you that I don't even get? I get cryy at well done.
Yeah.
Scenes, and I was trying to tell him like what I was saying. I cried at this movie, and Brett's like, really? I'm like, you don't understand. Like if an ending's well done, like Goodfellas, Eric Clapton, it gets to me, and Rushmore gets to me, and
I know what you mean because I've teared. This is gonna sound really bad. I've teared up after not watching Next Generation for a long time. Watching the intro to Next Generation.
Don't even get me started on Firefly.
For some reason, watching the intro to that, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's a different question.
So fucking good. Anyway,
let's save that nugget.
Anyway, Michael.
I had a couple of things. I'm always a little embarrassed to admit when a game does resonate with me on a personal level. Yeah, because everybody's going to say, "Well, it's just a game. How could you form an emotional attachment to that?"
That's a stupid question.
Exactly.
But it's not. Users, give me the answer.
The earliest time I remember doing this was playing Final Fantasy IV, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure there was stuff before that I just can't specifically think about right now, but there were 2 points in that game. One is with the giant of Babel, that like this giant comes out of this tower and comes to life, and it's just stomping toward you, and then all of a sudden these explosions hit it, and all of a sudden like all these characters that you thought were dead like just roll onto the scene in tanks and airships.
Yeah.
And it's such a great moment. It's like, oh my god, there's Yang and Sid, and they were supposed to be dead, now they're commanding all these war machines, and they're going to save the day. And then again at the end, when you're fighting Zeromus, and like you're hopelessly outmatched, but then like it starts playing the Final Fantasy theme, and all these characters that are still on Earth start appearing to you, and lending you their strength. It's a great moment.
Yeah, it is.
That era.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They start praying for you, and their well wishes and prayers actually revive you and bring you back to life.
And ActRaiser too, same thing with the people who pray to you for help or whatever. It's like that really affected me.
Yeah.
Even though they're just little portraits kneeling in front of a light.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like
part of that helps.
I can help these people.
Part of that is accentuated by the soundtrack. Like really drives it home in that game.
Yeah, totally. And then I guess more recently, The Darkness.
Really?
Yeah, really. Since you already said BioShock, I would have said that. But The Darkness, the whole bit with Jenny and it's actually like it sounds really it sounds really stupid, since I can't say that other word. That you would spend time in a video game watching, just sitting on a couch with another character, watching a postage stamp sized video loop of To Kill a Mockingbird while this character just like falls asleep next to you. That sounds like the most boring thing, but it's just such a great real moment in the game where
Yeah, this girl's just moved into this apartment, and all she has set up is a couch and a TV, pretty much. And you watch public domain television for the rest.
But it was the first time in a game where it's like, this is like an actual relationship. It's not stylized, it's not particularly romantic, it's just like, if I had a girlfriend and I was coming to her new apartment and we watched TV together, this is probably kind of how it would play out.
I believe I have a clip of that.
I haven't heard this in a while.
Wow, fuck you so hard.
I'm sorry. That was really.
Yeah, and then to finish that, it makes what happens to her later in the game just resonate all the more powerfully, and you know. I can go ahead and spoil.
I really threw a giant sudden. Is this emotionally moving?
It's whatever the phrase touching means to you. It could be like it made you cry, it made you just really, really think about what happened, something that just made you go, holy shit, what a moment. Something like that.
Okay, let me cue the appropriate music for mine. Honestly, like I wanted to bring up something. I know it's a flaw in me, but I'm a giant classist.
What does that mean?
It means
you hate the middle. You hate the lower class.
No, I hate classes in general.
Okay, like school.
And I especially hate the upper class. and there was a scene in the new GTA Lost and Damned that set me off when Johnny walks into the restaurant to meet Congressman Stubs, and he's like, "You ever consider what you do, like
to the maitre
d', and like." I wanted to bring that up as one of the more poignant scenes because GTA maybe successfully gets its point across occasionally, but that was one of those times where I feel like they were desperately trying to make the point. Like, do you like you're waiting on rich people all day? Like, your personality is entirely based off of the clientele you serve, not what you do. And I thought that was a pretty amazing point in the new. And
it was also pretty amazing that they used that to make the point of, well, you do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you think you're free, but you just work for your boss in this biker gang, and your personality is based off what's expected of you there.
Exactly, and I got like incredible goosebumps off that scene, and I wanted to pitch like a feature immediately off of shit that like epiphany moments in games. Not that I haven't thought that before. I've just never seen it done so well, better in a game.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't make sense, but I'm sure you guys have something better.
I think I've got two. I guess the first one is Ico. That's a really cool game if you haven't played it for the PlayStation 2. And I mean, through the whole game, you've got... Shut up! It's a good game! You got horns, and there's this girl, and you're in a castle, and she's named Yorda. And I don't know,
And there's like shadows chasing her?
There's shadow things! I don't know. I was a teenager, and I was like easily able to fall in love with any fictional girl who I had to take care of. And throughout the game, you're a dude with horns who has to escort her through this castle and save her. And in the end, she washes up on the shore next to you. And I was
spoiler
over of a very old game for the PlayStation 2, which I loved and thought was a great game.
It's only a few months older than Pikmin, which just came out this week.
Wow.
That's great. But if you played Shadow of the Colossus...
That's really interesting. What about Berlin?
Yeah, anyway, it was the sort of the precursor to Shadow of the Colossus, which if you've played, you understand the style, the idea of it, and I loved Yorda.
What's your next one, sweetie?
My next one is Portal, kind of. At the end of it, I was just like really kind of... Why are you booing Portal? It was
not booing, but like it's.
Is it weird to think that it was
Portal.
kind
How
of?
How can you boo cake?
How could you boo cake? No, like I know it was all tongue in cheek.
Cake.
It was really silly and tongue in cheek, but like I kind of connected with GLaDOS, and at the end when she's singing, I'm kind of like, wow, poor GLaDOS. She was great. She was hilarious. She was funny. They did a great job. I connected with both of the characters in the game. I loved the idea of an AI who's gone insane and but just wants to make science and do science, and I loved that. And she was really funny and kind of if she were human would have been interesting but she was just a bunch of robot eyeballs that got exploded. but I liked GLaDOS as a character. She was cool.
Did you feel bad about killing the first component that was like, what's that? What's that?
I kind of felt bad about killing GLaDOS because she
who are you?
Yeah, her defensiveness made her feel strangely human and flawed.
Strangely human, flawed, sweet in a way, but obviously,
She was a machine who was verbally compensating.
Yeah, she was compensating for the fact that she was going to be destroyed, but then after all that, she isn't destroyed, and she's just so excited about continuing her science that, like, I really felt for her. She wants, for the people who are still alive.
And the line in the song, "Go ahead and leave me. I think I prefer to stay inside." It's like you kind of
go.
I got a little bit emotional during that.
Oh, well, GLaDOS. I didn't know you cared so much. I thought you just wanted to throw me into a pit of fire.
Chocolate Shane, take us out, buddy.
I have a couple. One is Okami. Some of the ending of Okami, for some of the reasons that Michael was talking about for Actor Azer and everything. The wolf dies, and all the people you've met and touched throughout the game. Oh, really? So he can talk about the BioShock ending 2 years ago.
No, go ahead.
I know. And all the people that you touched throughout the game pray for you to come back to life and defeat this ultimate evil. And I actually did tear up. That was very touching. And I'm not a religious guy, but I thought that was like very poignant.
It seems like it means a lot. I didn't get to the end of Okami, but I understand how it could mean a lot to you.
I mean,
you did personally and not necessarily spiritually invested in Okami.
Yeah.
Everything I played of it. So I can't imagine getting to like how long?
It was like 38 hours for me.
38 hours.
It's a big chunk, 50 or 60 for other people. Just a long time. But like by the end, the cutscenes are just like starting to become moving and not irritating, and you're just, oh my god, there's a real weight to this. And the other one I would say right now is Metal Gear Solid 4, and it's hold on, it's a series. It's a series of moments because negating all the weird anime wackiness that they have in it, like a magician arm salesman with a monkey in a diaper. The game is about like beating up this old man who's already gonna die, and he just keeps getting worse and worse. Like he's in a fire like midway through the game, and his face is charred up, and he's telling Raiden like not to keep fighting. He's like, "Look at me, I'm on my way out." The end of the game, he's like crawling really slowly, and it's all building up for like, you're this hero who's gonna die anyway, and you need to save the world. It's all on your shoulders. It was like watching if Clint Eastwood was in The Passion of the Christ, and it was just like this old grizzled man is dying.
That whip hurts.
You made me think of a really good one that I forgot. I don't know. Do we have time for one more, or do we just?
Hey, let me get rid of this clip of Shane playing Okami.
Are you there?
Sorry.
No, it was a little like that.
I had business.
Okay, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
Oh my god!
Nobody fucking
The
played.
Oddworld games are incredibly emotionally invested.
Yeah, and the thing is, that for me, the key point was, there are those weird little guys that look kind of like dicks or something that are stand-ins for American Indians, basically.
Yeah.
They've been oppressed. And then it turns out that the stranger, the main character, is actually this four-legged thing called a steef, which is sort of like a centaur, and it's sacred to them. So they kind of worship you, they follow you. And there's this part toward the end where when you're assaulting this big castle, and it's a very sort of Lord of the Rings style moment, but you're just striding across these battlements, and these little helpless guys who are your troops, they see you, and you're like, there he is, boys! Make him proud! Make him proud! And that was just such a, like, wow, these guys are dying for me. Because I can't let them down.
With no orders,
they're making a sacrifice, and they put all this faith in my character. And it's very.
It seems like Oddworld is so funny, but there's a lot on the line the entire time.
Yeah.
God damn it! I'm so mad those games aren't being made anymore.
Damn them.
So it goes.
Going into movie making and then not making good on anything.
So it goes. It won an Oscar though, didn't it?
What?
One of the Oddworld things. So it was nominated, Shane?
Yeah. Slumdog Munch.
Slumdog Munch.
That's good. That's a great way to lead us into segues. What's everybody doing next week?
Taking a vacation. Next Friday, a week from today, I'll have something going up regarding Lost Planet, but again, it's still not much. The embargoes are still in place.
I have a Secret History of Wolfenstein feature that's going up today, and it should be especially interesting because as I say this, I have only the vaguest idea of what it's going to be, so I'll be impressed to see if it actually comes together. And I also have another Resident Evil 5 feature going up on Monday that you should check out.
Chocolate.
Nothing going up, but you'll see the fruits of my labor going into several videos in a couple weeks. And I'm reviewing some wrestling game. You might have heard of it.
Killer. I can pimp it now. I did a zombie special for OXM. It's just titled Zombies with an exclamation point. So you cannot miss it on the shelves because there are no other magazines called Zombies. But it's not out for a couple of weeks still, so I'll mention it again on the podcast next week. And like Brett's special, it was grueling. I worked very hard on it. If just when you look at these specials on the shelves, I just want to say, when you look at any of our magazines or the website, just imagine us half sitting, half lying down on my couch, a cup of coffee, a headache, Family Matters reruns in the background, trying to write this thing. We don't do these for quick cash. We try to make them good because we care about making a good product, and they are very hard. So if you see that in a couple weeks on the shelves, please give it a look. And on GamesRadar.com, which is where I actually work for, I don't think I have anything going up next week, but I'm working on some illustrations.
You have a Chinatown thing, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't. No, yes, I do. Yeah, I've got the Chinatown comparison.
Speaking of which, I hopefully will have up a Chinatown review, a big old funny one.
Yeah!
Go check it out. Check out the Talk Radar 42 page where I have all this crap and some pictures from exactly right now going on. I also wanted to plug the Speed Gamers. These Speed Gamers are doing their annual now. They're all the Zelda games in 72 hours for charity. Speedgamers.com. Zelda Marathon, it's on the front page.
What's some charity gonna do with a bunch of save games at the end of Zelda?
Hey, no. It's like you know the walkathon. It's actually it sounds even less bullshit than that. It's like someone. Do you bet me that I can walk 3 miles?
Yeah. I could. Do you bet me $10 for cancer research?
Can I beat every Zelda in 2 days? No, I bet you can, and then I give them money. I would rather give the Zelda people money. And it's all going to Ailey's House, a group that helps medical and other expenses of families of children undergoing cancer treatment. So, and they're trying to raise $6,000. Not that big, not that large a goal. You can easily go by there and give $5. No big deal. Got a Chinatown Wars review. We're gonna get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I see what happened.
I note your restraint.
We get the hell out of here. Remember, this little jam could win you a prize. You remember if you know what it is, post it in the comments of the Talk Radar 42 page to win Resident Evil shit. I really liked Dinosaur Penis Off-Ramp last week, but to alleviate us of the pressure, I'm just going to try and start grabbing audio to take us out with, and I'm going to leave that to E. Plumbrick, Poet Laureate for hire.
Yes.
Let's send us out on this.
And her nipples, like pig dicks in a cyclone.